Hello, and welcome to the Gymnastics Network. We apologize for that minor inconvenience. We unfortunately had put the video on 360 degrees, so we had to go back and reset everything up. But we're trying out a new format for the meet today, and we hope that you guys enjoy it. This is Springfield versus Army. We're expecting an extremely close meet. Both teams' averages are almost the same. So going into the meet here, I'm very excited to see not only what Springfield's going to do on their second showing, but if they're going to have the firepower and execution to come out and beat Army. Cannon, what do you think about it?
I got Army in this one. Army's been looking pretty good. They've been getting better and better throughout every single weekend. I know they started off a little bit low and they've had more than a few losses, probably than they'd rather like to admit. But I don't think Springfield is going to be able to take them this time.
Well, I'm hoping that it is close. Either way, I'd be happy with the decision for either team here. But we're trying out this new format. Let us know what you think. This is Noah Candosia for Springfield, and a nice dismount there, a double twist from a front layout. That is a D dismount. If you see a little bit of text at the bottom there on the left, that is just the area for our guest. We have a Springfield guy with us today. He's an alumni. His name is Nick Kramer. If you've ever heard of him, he's a really great guy. He is a physical trainer down in Texas. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it here on time, so we are just awaiting his arrival. But when he does get here, his picture will be in that space. But next up for Army, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew Davis. Matthew Davis has been putting it down on every single event that he does every single weekend, and it's been an absolute treat to watch him. Make sure you keep an eye out for him on rings today. But let's get cracking on his floor. Cannon, why don't you do a play-by-play for me?
Yeah, of course. Matt Davis, he's going to start with a triple full down the diagonal. Normally you see people do that as a dismount, but Matt Davis is going to be doing it as a pass. Layout punch half, very clean, B to B connection. Doesn't get any connection bonus, but very clean. Very smart gymnastics. Nice double back with a small hop, which is a C value skill. And he's going to go into that little bit of a pommel work on the floor. You know, gymnasts that are a little bit better on pommel works tend to show off some of their strengths on the floor, as it makes sense to always play to your strengths, and especially in the non-acrobatic skills. So he's going to just do a triple Russians as his non-acrobatic. Coming down over here, he's going to do a back full and up just a little bit of a little leg movement over there. Double full down the side. He's a little bit hoppy in this routine. Aside from that layout punch half, and then nice back 2.5 dismount with again, yeah, the hops. Overall, really good routine. That was Graham Shaw, actually.
Oh,
Really
that
good
was.
routine from Graham Shaw.
Well, there you go. For some reason, I had thought that was Matthew Davis. My apologies. Next up for Springfield, we're going to throw it back over onto Springfield here. We have David Handron. We saw David last week do an amazing job, as you can see from the display that we have at the bottom. We have the Vertius overlays now incorporated into our overlays, which is really exciting. And we're going to do even more stuff to get it even looking even better. We have a lot of stuff in the works, but we wanted to kind of switch it up and do something a little bit different this week. So if you guys like the new setup compared to what we had on our last couple of meets with the with our pictures and all the stuff on the left, let us know. But for now, we're going to keep this until we can upgrade a lot of our stuff. But here we go on David Handron. Nice double front to start off. Usually you see if a guy does a double front, he's probably going to come out and do a couple more double flipping skills. Nice connection. Ooh, I think that was supposed to be a connection pass there, but unfortunately looks like he missed his punch.
Looks like, yeah, just a normal double full into a nice back layout. Uh, really powerful gymnastics. Doing a double front and then into just a normal punch double full is pretty powerful. Got to have some pretty strong legs to be doing both those passes. So Nice to see. Nice handstand. Held that really well. And here he goes for his fourth pass. Full punch half. So, just as you just saw from Gramshaw, a little bit of easier connection, but very, very clean. And, usually you could commit to a pretty good landing. He missed the half, but you could typically commit to it. And then a nice back 2.5 dismount right there. So, really, really nice. Coming out of it, David Handro.
All right, and it looks like our Springfield guest is here. I'm going to get him set up. The next guy that we have up for Matt Davis, like I had said earlier. I know I already hyped him up, but he is a really, really, really talented gymnast, and we're really excited to see what he's going to do today. He's taken home multiple all-around titles. He's taken home multiple floor titles, multiple ring titles, multiple vault titles. So this man is stacked, and he's definitely the guy to watch today. So...
yeah. So
can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the patience. Experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties here on my end on my laptop, so I'm here on my phone. Let's see if I can you guys see and hear me okay?
Yep, we're all good, man.
Perfect. Yep. All right, I got it here.
All right, so this is our guest for Springfield. He's an alumni. His name is Nick Kramer. Kramer, why don't you, after this routine, take a moment to introduce yourself as we got some downtime. But for the time being, we are going to be watching Matthew Davis, as you can see in the bottom middle. It does say Matthew Davis, and it should say on air. Yeah, we're just waiting for him to get started on his routine. So still. I always love it when the floor guys stand there. And it's like you're just trying to ice them out, but they're not going to get iced out.
Not on floor. Definitely not on floor. Matt Davis, their top guy, their top dog, number one guy over here. So let's see what he has to offer. He's third in the lineup, so we should be expecting some big routines after. Here he goes with a beautiful double-double. Really,
Massive.
Really nice landing. Really textbook way of doing a double-double with the full punch double twist. And he's going to put 1 foot out, which he will take a 1/10 neutral deduction, plus the step deduction, which will be 3/10 for that.
Wow,
Whip
that's a
punch double
big
Arabian,
connection pass.
And both of his feet are going to go, so now he's going to take a 3/10 neutral deduction.
Just so much power. He's just having a lot of trouble staying on that floor.
Yeah, that was a really low landing, so I'm sure his knees are about to be feeling it for these next couple passes. Guaranteed. No way. I used to do floor routines like that. Your knees feel it.
Yeah.
But here he goes. He's going to do a back double full down the side. There goes one of those stuck landings that we know and expect from Matt Davis. Front 1.5, another stuck landing. There he goes. So
That's what it's about, right? It's about cleaning up the routine. Every pass is a new pass, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Dismount, back 2.5, and 2 small hops at the end. So, at least he kept it clean towards the end. He's going to have some pretty large deductions on the layout punch double twist and on the whip punch double Arabian, where one of his feet came out in the first pass, and then in the second pass, both his feet came out.
A little bit unfortunate and a little uncharacteristic for Matthew Davis. But as we're waiting for John Murphy from Springfield to get ready here, why doesn't our guest, Mr. Nick here, introduce himself?
Yeah, well, perfect timing. John Murphy's actually a really good friend of mine competing here. So, yeah, my name is Nick Kramer. I just graduated from Springfield College in May of 2020. I competed all 4 years. Didn't miss an NCAA competition, thankfully. And my specialties were pommel horse and rings, mainly. I trained all around for the first 3 years of my career and then just switched to pommel horse and rings primarily there at the end, my senior year. So, but it's good to see the guys in action here. So we got John Murphy starting with a huge pass here, lay, punch, front double full. He'll get connection bonus for that one.
Yeah, really nice. So John is a transfer from Iowa, if I'm not mistaken, right? From Hawaii?
He is, yeah. He's been kind of all over the place. We actually met in Nebraska, which is where I'm originally from, while he was trying to make the team there. He found his way at Iowa for a little bit and then found his way to Springfield. Big double. Ooh, nice stick. Almost stick. One thing I like about John Murphy's gymnastics, it is very clean. He's always very much in control. And during training, he was really big on that. It's just staying clean, trying to hit his passes and stick everything. He's very, very talented tumbler for sure.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to be gearing up for his dismount right here. He just did a little arm swing. All right.
Big 2.5 dismount right there. Little step, but overall, it was really clean. Huge hit for John Murphy. I'm proud of him.
Yeah. That was a really good routine, especially to see the D dismount at the end.
Right.
So, nice. It looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of back 2.5 dismounts. I know Army does a ton of them.
Yeah, that's something about Army that we cover every week is they, for some reason, really, really, really like to do 2.5s rather than doing triple fulls. And it's almost every guy on their lineup is doing that. So I am a little skeptical about the decision, just mostly because if we're gonna be doing triple fulls, the landings are a little bit better. But like, I guess I'm skeptical for like, given my experience. Well, but understanding where Army's at, their landings are actually pretty good. So I feel like just being able to do the 2.5 and getting the same amount of credit is the way to go.
Well, it's easier. It's definitely easier to do a 2.5 at the end of routine. You see a lot of JO guys opt to do it whenever they just need to get a D dismount. But it's definitely not the smarter dismount, and the smarter dismount is going to be to do the triple full because the landing typically is better.
But I feel like they're playing more to their strengths when they're doing a 2.5, especially at Army. Just because if you watch their gymnastics, they do have pretty good landings. And I feel like that is a requirement. Like right there, you can see from Ben Guiri, amazing stick on that nice connection pass. Going into his next pass here, we're going to see another connection pass look like a punch full, or a punch double full into a punch full.
1.5 punch full.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But here comes that press we always talk about. It is such a fun thing to talk to other gymnasts about the press. So, Nick, we're going to throw that to you. Have you been ever asked to do presses while just out in the wild?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's funny because the press handstand was kind of like a staple in gymnastics for me. I learned that at probably, I want to say 7 or 8 years old. So a lot of people ask, can you do a press handstand? And of course, you got to show it off. So press handstand is definitely one of those foundation skills that you need as a gymnast. So
absolutely. So as we get into his last pass here for Ben Guiri, we're going to see that.
Double full dismount.
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely the best routine to date for the Army guys. He was cooking through that routine.
Very, very, very clean coming out from Ben Guiri there. That's exactly what you want to see. And the thing that we've talked to Army about before is that they really like to kind of cater into cleanliness. And you could see from Ben right there, that's exactly what you wanted to do. So coming in here into the Springfield side, this will be Springfield's 5th routine. This is Charles Kramer. We heard a lot about Charles last week. So, Nick, what's your relationship to Charles?
Well, it's funny you say that too. So, the gymnastics community is relatively small compared to other sports. And Charlie was in my region, Region 4. And I've known Charlie for a long time. He's roommates with my brother, Dane Kramer, who's on the team right now as a freshman. Charlie is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to floor. I've seen him tumble and do some crazy, crazy tumbling skills. And he's got it. He's got the power. He's got the form, the technique. Some of the best tumbling I've seen in a while. So it'll be good to see him get out here and compete for Springfield. It's awesome to see that also people from different regions, like my region, Region 4, spread out to go out into Massachusetts, which is originally Region 6. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, it's always nice to see when gymnasts are traveling. But here he goes. Double twist punch tuck full. Really,
beautiful.
Really nice.
Beautiful.
Stuck landing coming out of
You can see here his technique is really beautiful. Front double full punch, front half. He's got 2 D to B connections here for the first 2 passes. His technique is just precise. It looks beautiful. It's textbook almost. Beautiful Arabian double.
Well, yeah, you saw the way he kicked out of that. It was really nice.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. He knew exactly where he was in the air.
Yeah, nice 1.5 punch.
Beautiful.
1.5.
Yeah, Charlie's doing really, really well so far. This could be a very big score here for Springfield.
There goes the back Leo. Got to get that stuck landing.
Yep. And that was a big thing. We would get in a lot of trouble if we did not stick our back layout side passes in during training.
That's funny you say that. We have something very similar over at Penn State. We'll get right into that after this last pass here. But
double full.
Nice stuff.
Definitely
nice stuff coming out from Charles.
Definitely going to be the best score.
So far, I believe.
That was beautiful. And the nice thing, too, we do you will see dismounts regularly with Springfield, but we do stress at this point, if the D dismount's not consistent, we do the C, we stick with that and try to stick that as consistently and as clean as possible. So if the D dismount isn't there, we have C or B dismount as a backup, but just make sure we go for the stick.
Good stuff. I mean, that's what you want, right? You want levels of consistency that can exist across the board, because if you're putting if you have 5 guys putting up D dismounts, but only 3 of them are hitting it, then what, you're going to take 2 falls, that's 2 points off. You're going to be in a bad position going into the next event. So that's really smart from Springfield. And I think that's the appropriate way to do it. And I think Army kind of has a very similar sentiment. When you saw from the last routine from Ben Guiri, he has the highest score on the board right now, but he only did a double full, right? So that's kind of what you want. And then also to the chat, John Murphy, the reason that he scored a little bit lower on that is because he has a pretty low start value. He starts at a 13.6. So he did end up getting about 2 points off on the routine, which I think for the routine that he did is fair. But a 13.6 for a start value on floor and then scoring 11.6 it's pretty good. I would be pretty happy with that. But here we can see
big pass.
Miguel and Conyo for Army, starting off with that huge double front into a nice double layout.
Beautiful double A.
I believe we've talked about him before, but I know that Miguel is an absolute beast when it comes to power tumbling. And then there's that nice connection pass there into the split that we were talking about earlier. And then we're probably going to see a nice little wide arm. Oh, no, normal press coming out of that. But it's really funny to just talk to other gymnasts and hear experiences about, kind of the split world and the press world, because it seems like everybody and their mom has been asked at least once to do a split or a backflip or a press handstand. It's just one of those things that you see across the board. But going into the next pass here, we're going to see a nice double full. It looks like he over-rotated that a little bit and punched off his heels, but hopefully he can find his landings for the next couple of passes here.
He was really bouncy going into that one.
Yeah, really nice back layout. And usually you don't see guys over-rotate double fulls like that, but hopefully his heel is feeling all right. Going into, I believe, his last pass here, a nice double Arabian, small hop there. That is a D dismount.
That was nice.
Beautiful dismount, yeah.
Really good stuff from Miguel.
Really a power tumbling over there. A lot of double Arabians, a lot of the double flipping, and the higher value connection. So really, really, really good stuff coming from Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel is probably one of my favorite floor guys to watch, just because I am such a fan of power tumbling. I love that double layout. I love the double front. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the connection pass where guys are coming out and doing like punch full into punch double full. Like it is cool, but personally, I'd rather see the bigger, higher flying type of floor skills.
And that's why they made in the new rules for the code. They're no longer giving connection bonus to twisting connections, but only to double flipping connections. So maybe they're kind of leaning towards that.
Well, the twisting ones just got too easy in the end. The way that the Japanese taught everybody how to do a front full with their head 3 inches off the ground, staring at the ground the whole time. The way that the best gymnasts do it, the possibilities are endless. But they're not endless when it comes to double flipping. But we're gonna be looking at
this is Dom Ramalho.
Yeah. So, really, another power tumbler. It looks like.
Yeah, he's very good flipper for sure. Nice little Rudy there. Yeah, definitely his double flipping is definitely trumps his twisting abilities. But like I said, the USAG is leaning more towards double flipping those big, powerful passes there versus the twisting. So he's got that advantage already.
Yeah, nice back layout. It's always about getting those sticks on those back layouts. I mean, if you're going to do them, you might as well stick them. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There you go. There goes that little arm swing. And he sold that arm swing. You saw how he did it in slow-mo?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh.
Big double full dismount.
Nice.
Nice, Dom.
Nice little stick right there.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from Dominic.
On top.
Yeah, Dom is a strong sophomore. You'll see a lot from him in the future. He's got a big future ahead of him.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So next up for Army, we're gonna have Calvin Kingshill. Very excited to watch him. He's gonna be the last guy up for Army. But yeah, the next code of points should be really interesting. We're pretty excited to see it. I mean, I am going to be very, very, very excited, especially for the floor stuff, because floor is one of my favorite events to watch.
Floor and high bar have the biggest changes.
And those are the most fun. I feel like those are the most fun events to watch. Just
I would
kinda
very much agree.
given the nature of it all. And Ken is spitting. Yeah, he do be spitting. Yeah, the connection bonus work is going to be really interesting to kind of see what goes on there. But here we go in the last routine from Calvin Kingshill. Nice beginning pass there.
It's going to be really interesting to see the connection on both sides. You know, when people do C to D to C, you know, you only get connection on one side. Now we're going to see C to D to C, get connection on both sides. So people like Kenzo doing double twist, punch double front, punch 2.5 is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
I've seen some clips of that actually online already.
Yeah.
Some of it is just absolutely insane. But let's get into Calvin's routine here. We see him step nicely into the corner. I love those types of transitions. We're going to see his, I believe, third pass here. Looks like a punch 1.5.
Yeah, so he's just keeping it clean, really.
Yeah.
This routine probably won't beat out in start value Miguel's 14.8 or Matt Davis's 15.4, but you know, it's sometimes on floor, it's really just about keeping it clean.
Exactly.
And you could definitely see people on floor get 9.0 executions very easily and score really high and even challenge some All-American spots. So Calvin,
Big step.
back 2.5. Looked like something happened with his knee there. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't even
hopefully
know
he's
what just
okay.
happened, but yeah, he walked off like a tank, the tank that he is. So you know, no worries about him. I'm sure we'll see him later. As we're finishing up rotation 1, we're gonna be looking at a score of a 60.6 from Springfield to a score of a 61.85 from Army. Still waiting on Calvin's score. But impending that, I don't think it will change much. We are looking at around a 1.2, 1.5 gain for Army on the first rotation.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I think already we're off to a pretty close start here, so this will be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, it's a very close meet. Two pretty closely ranked teams, in my opinion. Especially when it comes to gymnastics. So right now, Springfield is not currently ranked for in the NCAA ranking just because they haven't competed more than once. But Army is ranked 14th with they had a ranking of 13th place on floor exercise. So they're definitely proving that right now. Their highest ranked event is actually P-bars at a 12 rank. So we'll definitely have to pay attention to that ranking. And also to see where Springfield lines up by the end of all this.
Yeah, you know, coming from the kind of the underdog perspective as being a gymnast at Springfield for 4 years, you know, we've always been really just kind of 15th or 16th and not very satisfied with that. And, you know, I think we were really, really antsy to get up there in the rankings for sure. We always make that a huge goal of ours every year, and we stick to that goal every year. So it's a little difficult here with COVID. But you know, I am very, very confident that Springfield will definitely make their rise for sure. You know, we put in so much work day in, day out. Every day we're in there, we have a mission. You know, our coach Matt Davis there is huge on that. He's very motivational when it comes to our goals. He knows what we want. He sleeps on those goals. He lives those goals every day, as we do too. And you know, I'm very confident that Springfield will rise up in the rankings for sure.
So
here in the near future.
So we'll definitely get into that, and I want you to talk a little bit more, maybe later, about what it's like to be a Springfield gymnast, and you know, something that you could say to prospective JO gymnasts that might help them go to Springfield, because I think one of the problems with the gymnastics there is that you know, I don't think you guys are getting consistent enough recruits.
You're right,
and enough you know, just exposure out there to get some of these better guys.
Right.
Not that anything's wrong with the guys here. I'm just saying, you know, getting better talent in is always better because it pushes everybody to the next level.
For sure. Yeah, you are 100% correct on that. you know, for me, coming from someone who, came from Nebraska, um, I was kind of the first Midwestern to kind of get out to Springfield in a while at least. And, getting that variety too is really big. So we need to at least kind of push. We can talk more about this later, but kind of push Springfield's capabilities on those younger JO gymnasts who want to be go collegiate.
Yeah.
We can touch on that more later.
Yeah. So I want to mention to everyone that there is a donation link down below. If you guys do choose to support, please subscribe, comment. So there are multiple ways to support the stream. One of the ways that you guys are currently supporting the stream is by watching, commenting, interacting with us. So I want to say thank you for that. And there also is a donation link down below so that we can get some better equipment and keep the stream flowing and get some better stuff, some better overlays, better graphics, and stuff like that for you guys. But I want to talk a little bit about the code. So do you know if anything on the code is changing for Palm Wars? I know the floor one is was a pretty big change, and so is the high bar one. We'll talk about that when we get to high bar. But is there anything really major changing about Palm Wars?
Yeah, I don't think there is. Palm Wars is one of those that hasn't changed much over the years with the code. Maybe a little things here and there. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, I think maybe they're gonna devalue flared Magyar and Savato to a D.
Oh,
There it goes. Our flared Magyar and Savatos are gonna be same box, or they're gone.
so here we got Trevor Lamberton. He's a senior here. He was actually one of my recruits when I was a freshman. So I showed him around campus, and thankfully we got him.
Yeah. Let's see what he got going on. Some nice scissor work right there. Nice travel down. Nice. He's going to need a little bit more amplitude on some of those leg cuts. They're going to be hitting him for 3/10 for those, but really nice body position. No wavering of his body. And, right when I say that.
It just takes that little hand slip, a little misplacement of the hand. Your hips are turned off a little bit, like 10 degrees off. You're off the pommel horse, and that's the love-hate relationship that comes with pommel horse.
Yeah.
So, maybe Trevor is a very clean gymnast, very consistent usually too. But maybe could open up his hips a little more in his circles. Maybe swing with a little bit more power. But other than that, I mean, that was just a little fluke. So hopefully he can get back up here and finish off strong.
Yeah, that right there. This looked like his legs got ahead of his shoulders when that happens on Palm Wars. And you kind of just, plop off.
Beautiful dismount. Went right up to the handstand there.
Yeah.
Oh, and the arm swings. But, hey, at least he didn't step. You definitely don't want to be stepping on a pommel horse dismount, right? Usually we've seen other teams where when that happens, you watch them crawl underneath the pommel horse. It's usually a little frowned upon. But
Figure 8.
yeah, right? Coming in here for Army, the first guy up is big man Matthew Davis. I love Matt. He is my favorite Army gymnast to watch. So, commentator a little biased here, but I am extremely, extremely, extremely excited to see if he can pick it back up after floor. Matt has the highest start value on floor for his team. I believe he's up there on pommel horse as well. He's just a really well-rounded all-arounder. And, after his small debacle on floor, I'm really hoping that he can come in here and do an amazing job coming into the horse. So let's see what he's got. Cannon, why don't you do a play-by-play?
Yeah, of course. Nice little C scissor from rear end into a nice little B scissor. I just call them by their value because it makes more sense to me, just so you know, Nick. But side travel, step up, nice body position that he got going on, nice little rhythm, back more, and he's going to be doing a dismount right here. So real quick, easy, get in, get out, and he got it done. So
that's what you want for your first guy on pommel horse, right? You don't want the biggest start value. You don't want the most inconsistent. You want somebody with a medium start value that's fairly consistent, so that they can come out on the board and set kind of the tone for pommel horse, right? Because pommel horse is one of those events where when you're on the event, it is extremely, extremely, extremely important that confidence is high, right? Because you second guess yourself once on pommel horse and you end up in a position where your hand is not where it should be and it throws your entire circle off, and then you're going to just probably end up on your feet when you should not be on your feet. So
so I hate to interrupt here. This is my younger brother right here. This is Dane. This kid works. I mean, this is totally unbiased, by the way, but he is one of the hardest workers and most passionate gymnasts I have ever seen, and I believe that this kid has huge things coming up for him. So I got to say my little mantra here: go big. Yep.
Yeah, sweet, man. That's awesome. Why don't you do the play-by-play for us, Nick? Here, why don't you handle it for us? It's your brother.
Yeah. So he's gonna start here with a C scissor. That's how I mounted, right into the circles. He's got a good, clean stretch, long body. He's about 6 foot tall, so he's got perfect body for pommel horse here.
Yeah, it's
Pretty squared in
definitely
the circles as well. Nice tongue fei. Nice and controlled. Beautiful Savato
Nice
there.
Savato.
Not too much of a skew, which is good. He's going to do a triple Russian dismount here.
I was gonna say that he didn't have any skew.
Nice job, Dane. So
Yeah,
proud of this kid.
Look at that pop-off, too, man. He's having a blast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little does he know.
Just like
Did
his-
you
just
did
like
you
his
end up
brother.
telling him that you were going to be casting him today?
Yeah, he knows. He's well aware.
Oh, so he's going to watch that back and be like, man, my brother's got my back.
Yep, and he's wearing my jersey as well, so couldn't be more honored, couldn't be more proud of this kid.
Oh, that's
He's a
awesome.
great kid.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, he's wearing your jersey. Same last name. Yeah. So no more back entry for Roos and Ross on the next year's code. That's definitely gonna be interesting. I did all my woos and Ross from a forward entry, so it didn't really change anything for me. But I know some gymnasts out there do choose to do some of those backwards woos and Ross. So
I think it can affect some guys that are doing a lot of Russian work. Right.
yeah, it definitely could. I don't think it's gonna be. That's definitely not a big change. But here's Zach Mitchell from Army. He's gonna start off with the C scissor. It's a very common mount on pommel horse.
Right into that beautiful moor to is this a flop here? Yep. Nice
Yeah.
flop coming out from Zachary there.
Just a D flop right there.
Nice Magyar. We're going to probably see that's the pommel horse 1-2 right there, the Magyar Savato. Looks like
he has no skew in his loops,
Yep.
which is really good.
Good fight there, staying on the horse. Saw a little bit of a form break there, but he was able to kind of pull it back around into a nice dismount. So good stuff coming out from Zachary. That's exactly what you want on horse, right? Staying on the horse. It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to be a perfect set, but I would, as a teammate, I'd rather take that because that shows that my teammate is fighting to stay on the horse because he cares about the competition, he cares about the meet, rather than somebody that might just say come into a position like that on the last circle and jump off. And you may not think that happens, but we've casted a bunch of meets and we've seen it happen many a time. So if that's my teammate, I'm taking Zach and I'm giving him a big hug after a nice routine like that.
Yeah, you guys could see
Absolutely.
some of these scores coming in down below if you read
So I
that.
believe this is Juan.
Yep, this is Juan
I'm
Gomez.
I'm not super familiar with all the freshmen here, but I do know this kid's got some skill on pommel horse for sure. So let's see what he's got with his routine. Now, one thing a lot of people don't know about pommel horse who aren't big in gymnastics already is it doesn't look super difficult, and it kind of looks a little bit maybe boring at times, but it takes a huge amount of wrist control, a ton of mental strength too. One of the most mental events in gymnastics, in my opinion.
Absolutely, it's all about that confidence, right? That's why you want to put up your most confident guy first, and
Right.
Juan's doing a great job right now. So let's see if he can bring it up around to finish up this dismount.
Big dismount here. A
Nice.
little bit. Okay, not bad. Yeah, that'll just be a C dismount there. Yeah, that was a solid routine.
Yeah, good stuff.
Maybe you could open up a little bit more, but that was pretty solid. Nice job.
Yeah, I'm really excited for a little bit later in Springfield's pommel horse lineup. I know they got some crazy pommel horse. I believe it's Jack Volvo, if I'm remembering correctly from Wednesday. But there's a huge flare sequence in the Springfield lineup that is just absolutely a treat to watch.
Yeah, that would be Mr. Colin Mayberry right there.
That
He
is Colin then.
notorious.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was
Notorious
Jack
for
or
his
if it was
flare work.
Colin, but
Yeah,
they are very good at pommel horse when they get a little bit deeper into their lineup. So for Army here, we're going to be going with Matthew Martin. Good gymnast right here. Nice McCulloch to
big
start it
McCulloch
off.
there.
Beautiful scissor back into the middle. Another scissor into a circle pickup, and then a nice more. Looks like some flop work here.
Yeah.
He's got a nice circle.
Yeah, very much.
Nice little D flop there, and another D flop.
Beautiful.
Nice half Roth right there. That's a C value skill
Right
rather than
into the
D.
tongue fei. Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, this set is massive. Right into the Magyar Savato sequence, and then there's going to probably be, yep, looks like a press up dismount here. Hopefully you can get it
Very
up.
nice. Oh,
Nice.
Just opts out for the C, but either way,
it's okay.
really good
That
stuff
routine
from Matthew
there,
Martin.
that flowed really, really nice, actually. There was really no hesitation. He just kind of flowed right with it. You can tell that guy was very confident, and he's hitting consistently for sure. So
It's the back Roth. Or sorry, not the back Roth. The half Roth. The half Roth just makes the routine flow really well. Every single guy that I've seen do it, and it's not many people that compete it, but whenever I see it done, I feel like the routine is always just flows really nice rather than doing a half a step down or a half of a flop, or even a D flop doesn't even flow as nice as a half Roth to me.
I
Right.
agree. I agree.
I agree.
I think that's a sign of good coaching. If I'm being 100% honest, I feel like if you can create a routine that flows that smoothly, that plays into an athlete's strengths that well, you're doing something right.
Yeah, so yeah, as you could see from Matt Martin, he had a lot of those side traveling skills. So having a half Roth is really good.
Yeah, so we got Colin Mayberry here, so you're going to see some pretty big flare work from him.
Yeah, Colin has the most beautiful flares I've ever seen any NCAA gymnast do, and I'm not lying about that. You're going to see that right after that half Roth there, but watch these flares. Look how high he gets his butt up in the back there.
Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing into that nice travel.
Flared side travel with two pommels on the
Beautiful.
outside.
He has drilled these flares day in and day out. This kid is dead set on getting his flares to be the best, and he's already got a great head start.
Yeah.
Nice dismount. Beautiful,
Absolutely
Colin.
massive.
With the E dismount there.
Yeah, there's
Beautiful work.
the thing about that dismount that makes it so crazy is his flare. His body is literally horizontal already. So when he goes up to do the dismount, he's doing a half press compared to where other guys, their butt is about parallel to the pommel horse, right? He's already maybe a foot up, given his flare, just how big it is. So that amplitude allows him to really carry up and do a beautiful dismount. And that's something that we see a lot of guys get deducted on, especially at kind of the college level, right? A lot of guys will come up, they'll go for their press dismount, and their feet will drop, which is an automatic, like, what is it, 3/10?
Yeah, 3/10.
Or they'll hit the horse, or they won't be able to get up all the way.
Yeah.
Because you have the stopping of 3/10, and then you have the strength of 3.
Exactly.
But, most people will just say it's 3/10.
So you just get murdered. But here we go. This is Graham Shaw for Army. Big stuff coming out from Graham today. Nice travel.
Got a long stack.
Just as a notice, I'd probably take 5/10 on probably everybody's dismount so far.
Yeah.
If not more on everyone, just because nobody has really swung through. We're gonna see if Graham Shaw is gonna be able to get it done. Have a nice little fast dismount.
Except for Dane, of course, he had Russian dismount. So
Yeah.
there's no
Oh
doubt
yeah,
about
so
that.
the Russian dismount,
Totally
is a little
unbiased
bit of a cheat. Well, Graham Shaw just he finished up with a nice little triple Russian dismount, which is a D value. But yeah, that is an advantage to the Russian dismount. So I think personally, it is harder for most gymnasts to do the Russian dismount. But in terms of execution, there's a lot less to get off for a Russian dismount. The only thing that you have to worry about is your amplitude towards the end, which isn't very difficult, and keeping your legs together, which you should already have been doing.
Yeah.
For the handstand, you have to worry about the strength deduction, which most judges just assume that you use strength. The swinging, the handstand, you have to worry about your hand placements, where you land on the pommels is a deduction. There's a lot more to get off, but it is more catered to most gymnasts because it stems from a basic press handstand.
So this is Jack Volo for Springfield. Volo, excuse me. I believe he is a pommel horse specialist. So let's see what Jack has got in store for us. Beautiful start there. Looks like some. I think that was a woo or there's that tongue fei there.
So Jack's pommel horse is a little bit unorthodox. His swing, you can see here. Yeah, that was we actually might have downgraded a little bit, but that was probably for a good cause because that was very clean and he's probably consistent now. He would usually do last year. He would do woos and Ross, but he must have taken that out. But clean, quick routine for Jack for sure.
Well, if I could say anything, it looked like he was really hoppy in his dismount, and you want to be stepping your hands on the rushing
Yes.
rather than hopping. So it was probably a
And
pretty
that's
good idea to take out some of those woos and Ross because
right, and that's where his unorthodox kind of style comes from. He is very kind of hoppy when it comes to those Russians, and but he's put up some really big scores in the past, and I think I think his force is overall really really good.
Yeah, I believe last weekend he did do a little bit, or excuse me, on Wednesday, I think I saw a little bit more from Jack come out on horse. So I'm wondering why the downgrade, but either way, still good stuff from Jack. I'm sure he's gonna score all right. And then it looks like we got Joseph Minus up for Army here. We've heard a lot of good stuff about Joseph Minus from our fellow Army commentators. I believe he does like a scissor to handstand right here.
so he's gonna open.
Wow,
with,
yeah, you don't see that very often anymore. That was I believe that's only I think it's a C.
I believe so
Correct
as
me if I'm
well.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think the more twists you add, obviously that'll increase the value of that. He's got a really big swing,
Yeah,
really
it's-
long, takes his time for sure.
yeah, nice tongue fei there. Looks like a little bit of
Woo!
kind of that TikTok
Big,
motion
big
there, but
dismount.
nice dismount
that?
coming out from Joseph
Yeah.
there.
Went right up to handstand too, so that was going to be very minimal deduction. That was probably the best dismount I've seen today on Palm Horse.
Definitely the best dismount. The least amount of strength, no stopping deduction. I'd probably still take
Right.
1/10 for the strength, and then
Yeah,
probably 1/10
and that's how it
for
should be.
form.
It should be a swing versus a press.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the gymnasts need to look out for where they land on the horse. You need to be finishing in that same segment of the horse that your last handle was in. So he actually put his feet in between the middle of the palm horse, which is a 1/10 deduction, and then having it back the farther one would be a 3/10 deduction. So just something just to look out for some of the casual fans, so you guys can start seeing where some of these deductions are coming from.
Yeah, it's about recognizing those patterns, right? Being able to understand the sport as a whole, and then as you can understand it more, it becomes even more fun. So this is Colton O'Brien for Springfield here.
See what Colton's got here. He's I've seen some training videos. I haven't trained with him.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So that right there is an F skill.
Nice.
That was absolutely massive. Right into
Huge.
the triple Russian,
I
too.
didn't know.
Right. Oh, I've seen this. Right into the triple
wow.
woo. Right. He goes triple Russian right into the woo, right into the back roth, and then does a triple Russian dismount. Watch this. Yeah, that's massive.
Beautiful.
That's
That's insane.
massive right there.
That is how we do it.
Last
That is how we
weekend,
do it at
or excuse
Springfield.
me, on Wednesday, we saw him do that, but he didn't make the whole routine. So there's no way that Colton is not coming away with the Pommel Horse title there. But I
Absolutely.
love that sequence. Actually, it was funny. After he did that,
That was a G flag.
yeah.
It was a G. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't even an F. It was a G.
Yeah.
After he did that routine last week, I had messaged Steven about it and was like, hey, Steven, for those who don't know, Steven Narosic is like one of the best, is the best pommel horse specialist in the United States. And I was like, you got to watch this guy's routine. So I sent him the clip and he was like, wow, that is a cool sequence. Because there's nothing better than, the cool thing about that sequence is everything is connected, right? So it goes right from the Russian, right into the woo, right into the Roth, right into the Russian. So it allows for kind of this beautiful flow of 4 skills in like 3 seconds. Right. And you just can't match that. But this is the last guy up for Army here. This is Prakash Nagam. I apologize if I butchered your name, bud, but let's get into it here. Nice more there into, looks like a side travel down into a triple Russian. Yep.
He's got a big swing as well. I noticed a lot of these Army guys, pommel guys, are really tall in stature, which isn't bad for a pommel horse, me being a bit taller.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what you want. And wow, great routine from Prakash there. Just the Army guys, like you said, they have a really fast swing. So when they're coming in and they're attacking the horse, right? They're not babying their swing. A lot of those guys that are coming out, like we said, it's that confidence level to them. So something I noticed about Army is when they hit horse, right? Like we just saw that rotation right there. I don't think they had any falls. They didn't have any falls. They had that rough routine to kind of start off with kind of that. Remember, he kind of dragged on the horse there, but other than that, they had a lot of confidence, and it allowed the Army guys to really step into their swing, which is exactly what you want on horse, right? You want that confidence. You want to be able to swing really aggressively. But the thing that's kind of the caveat with it is if the team isn't feeling very confident, they're not going to have a good horse rotation. So that says a lot about where Army is at today and that they're swinging very confidently. And we're probably going to see that transfer onto all of their events if they can keep that momentum up.
Well, if you could say confident on palm horse, you could definitely say confident on rings. Rings is a confidence booster because,
Yeah,
there's not much you're going to fall on other than that dismount. So
exactly. Right. So this is the last
Yeah,
routine for Springfield here. This is Dominic Romaglio. He is in the 7th spot, so this will be for the all-around. For his all-around score, will not count towards the team score.
Yeah, and he's he's always been a really solid all-arounder. Not a ton of difficulty on pommel horse, which is pretty typical for most all-arounders, but he's clean. He gets in and gets his job done, and strictly business on pommel horse for Dom. So
yeah,
nice little routine there.
Which is, it's really good too, because I remember he did not hit that routine on. I know for a fact he did not hit that routine on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So to see him come back out and do that is awesome. It looks like this is the end of the rotation here. So we're going to get a couple of things pulled up, but we'd like to thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. During this time, as we're transitioning events, we're going to have an event overlay up in just a moment. But we would like to say thank you for being here, and we do have a donation link in the description of this video. We work full-time on this. This is our jobs, and the way that we get funded is through donations. And on top of that, as you can see in the bottom left, we have a donation ticker there. We're working towards a new camera so that Canon and I can boost up our production quality. That's the point of getting the donations, is so that not only can we support the show, but it allows us to spread more and more and more into the gymnastics world so that people can get into that. And we're really excited, but we do need funding for that. So any amount can help. It means the absolute world. And that, again, that link is in the description. But let's look at the event overview here for us as we're going into our next event. This is the end of rotation 2. So you can see from Springfield, we're going to see a 60.85, which is pretty good on pommel horse. And then from Army, we see a 59.95. So you can see from the scores here, Army is only in the lead by 0.4. So that was something that we were talking about earlier. It's absolutely paramount that these teams continue to hit their routines, because they're going to go neck and neck all the way through the events today, as long as they stay on their events and they keep doing good gymnastics. So I'm really excited. I think rings, definitely keep an eye out for Matthew Davis from Army. He's an absolute stud on rings for Army. On Springfield, there's a couple of different guys that we can kind of keep an eye out for, but something that I do remember from Wednesday is that you're going to see an older style skill that you don't see a lot called a Delchev. And I'll make sure I point it out when I see it, but it's one of my favorite skills to watch. One of my JO buddies, Brendan Nye, he used to do that when we were kids, so every time I see it, it gets me a little giddy. I'll make sure I point it out when it comes up. But it's going to be a fun rings rotation. Remember, rings, most of the time you're looking for good handstands and good landings, and an ability to stay still in all of your skills. So
yeah, so on rings, yeah, it's definitely going to be about that handstand. Show a good handstand, everything's going to work out all right. Handstand, no movement, and a good dismount is going to get you a 12.5 and up.
Yeah,
99% of the time. If they didn't, that means that they had some type of error. So rings is pretty easy to score on, and very, very safe. If you want to play, anything safe, you definitely want to be playing it safe over there on rings, because playing it safe on rings is holding it extra long, and holding it extra long is definitely something that you're already advised to do.
So this is Noah Candosia for for Springfield. I apologize if I butchered that, but I believe Noah. Yep, there's that Delchev I was talking about. Just an absolute
Yep.
stud of a skill. I love to see that right into the beautiful back upright planche. I want to keep your legs perfectly still on that. Hold it for 2 seconds into a nice back up rise straddle L, and we're going to see the press, and then probably the rings 1-2 coming into into 2 giants here, and probably a dismount. A little bit of arm bend on the way up there. You want to make sure your arms are perfectly straight the entire time, but still good handstand work coming out from Springfield. Nice tuck Yamawaki into a back up rise L. I guess I was wrong. And it looks like a
Front half.
front half. Looked like he was going to go for a full and then just somehow yanked it back around to hit that half, but still great stuff coming out from Noah.
Yeah, so Isaac, I don't know. I mean, obviously, rings is your forte, but with the position holding on rings, I don't know if you would do this, but we would do where we would aim to hold it in training for at least 5 seconds, just to make sure we really get that strength move held and make sure we get full credit for that, because we know that those judges can really kind of pummel you on that score.
Yeah. Just, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can go into training and kind of like how you feel about your ring set and kind of what you need to cater into. But when you're on the rings, it's really important to make sure that you count to at least 3 1,000 on every single skill that you do, because the judges really don't start counting until you're completely still, and that's how you go into a back up rise planche and your feet drop, and then you think you've done it for 5 seconds, but in reality, you haven't gotten credit yet. So this is Patrick Armstrong for Army here.
Yeah, Army does a lot of the easier strength skills, but they do them extremely, extremely well. As you can see, Patrick, he started with a kip to L, very unorthodox skill, but held it. Nice back up rise planche.
And good giant work, right?
Yeah,
like
look
that's
at
exactly
this
what you
giant.
want to see.
Yeah.
Perfect handstands. He's no arm bend on the way up. He's staying off the straps. Nice pike Yamawaki into a beautiful tuck Yamawaki. I mean, this routine doesn't have a lot of strength, but it has really, really, really good swing.
He doesn't have a lot of swing right here. That's really good heading into his dismount. By swing, I mean moving in and out of the rings, and in and out
Beautiful
of the ring
dismount.
side. But really nice half and half out dismount. Just a small hop back. So really good stuff coming out of Patrick.
Yeah, beautiful routine for Patrick. So we saw Noah on the last Springfield routine. He put up an 11.4, started at a 13.6. So good stuff coming out from Noah. But this is going to be Juan Gomez. We just saw him on Pommel Horse as well. So let's see what he's got on rings. Any words for Juan here, Nick?
Yeah, well, again, Juan is he's obviously a freshman, and I'm not super familiar with his gymnastics. I've met him several times, but haven't got the chance to train with him consistently. But he, from what I've heard at least, he's got a lot of skills up his sleeve. So this will be interesting to see his routine here.
All right, so Juan, let's get into it, bud. Looks like he's gonna take a second and then probably get his grip and then go up there and
So
do some good
Juan
stuff.
scored a 12.0 his last showing against Cal. So we're gonna be
Getting
able to
that pulse
see
grip there.
that's his baseline right now for the season. He has a 12.0 on ring, so we're gonna see if he can bring his average up or if his average will be dropping. But
really
Beautiful
beautiful
kip to
straight
plan.
planche there. I really like that for a mount.
that was OC.
Yeah, right into a kip. That is a C, and then he goes into a back upright straddle planche, which is also a C. And I love how his rings are turned out on those planches. That sets you up to get better and better at planches. A lot of guys, I won't get into it, but it's really beautiful to see that. And then a nice press handstand there. And then I believe we're going to see a giant. Yep, there's that front giant. It's a front giant because he's
Keep your
falling
arms
forward.
straight. Keep your arms straight.
Yeah, got to keep your arms straight on those giants. There's another back giant.
He could beat this 12.0 with a really good dismount.
Nice. Oh, threw the
Little
stick
hop
away.
there.
Threw it away.
All right, we're gonna have to see. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I hope
Rick,
that he
you
can
got
put
the
it back
thing.
up, but I don't know. That
Higher than a 12. That over under minus 150. I got my money on it that he beat his baseline of a 12. That was a really nice routine.
Yeah, it was really clean strength. I believe on Wednesday he had a little bit more of a rockier planche position for the straight and the straddle. So to see him come back out and clean that up, I'm sure he was back in the gym all week fixing that.
If you are watching this back, Juan, if you want to get an easy 3/10 back on the back up rise, keep your arms straight. It's a very easy thing that a lot of gymnasts do. They bend their arms when their back up rises, and it's not ever necessary.
No, it's not. But here we go. This is Matthew Martin. I believe we saw him on floor for Army. So let's see what Matthew's got. There's that kip L. That's kind of the classic for Army guys. You see, it's kind of a pattern we've noticed. A lot of Army guys do that, and then they go right into a planche for their static
Beautiful.
strength. But really clean stuff. Good giant.
That was
good
nice.
planche.
That was really nice the way that he snapped into that back giant.
Yeah,
Nice
look at
way
that.
He snapped into his front giant. Really nice handstand. A little bit of a wavering, but really clean. It's a really nice tuck yam, pike yam.
Right into a
Another
beautiful back
back
upright
rise
straddle
planche.
planche. Really nice. Oh, I love that. He took his time, put his legs together before he even came back into the L. Really beautiful stuff. And then here's that press handstand. And we're going to see a dismount here. A double back with
Double
Did he get that stick? We're gonna have to see on the judges.
Yeah, it's a little bit small for us to see. But really nice stuff from Matt Martin. We're going to be looking at Dylan now. Dylan what is that? How do you say his last name, Nick? Dylan.
Let me see here.
It's Colin Gallo, from what I remember from Wednesday.
Yes, he's another freshman. So to be 100% honest with you, I'm not gonna butcher his last name there, but
That's respectable. I understand that. But let's get into Dylan, man. I like Springfield's rings. I really do. I think they do a lot of kind of unorthodox stuff. Like we had seen from Noah with that Delchev, and then Juan with the cast into a kip to planche, right? You don't see a lot of guys do a cast kip to straight planche as a mount, but it's a little bit unorthodox, but it's really interesting stuff, and that's kind of what makes gymnastics fun, right? It could kind of put your own flavor into the events, and that's a sign of a good coach. That's a sign of a good athlete, playing to your strengths, playing into what you want.
To me, it's the same as football. Football, there's a bunch of different plays, and people that generally are fans of football, they can understand that there's different techniques that people can choose. Same with gymnastics. There's different roads that people can choose to go on their routines.
Exactly.
beautiful kip cross there.
Yeah, really nice. He sat right into it. That was really nice.
Oh, right into the kip Maltese.
Ooh.
Beautiful position there.
That's a whole.
See, this is what Springfield was lacking in our previous years, is those big strength moves, and we were really trying to push those. So it's good to see that we still got some Malteses there and some cross work. So
That was a nice planche. His legs were moving a little bit. I wonder if the judges
Swing a little bit there.
are going to give it to him. Tuck yam, back of rise straddle L. Back of rise normal L into a nice press handstand. So he is cooking this routine.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, and I like his handstand. It looks like he's setting up to get even better. And
Nice.
He is younger, so we're gonna see that routine get better and better every single year. I like the construction of that, as well as kind of his execution. It looks like he had one kind of rough giant on the first one, picked up a lot of swing on that, but he fought for the handstand and stayed up there and didn't get off, and that's what's important. It looks like we missed a follow from Aiden CR. Wanted to say thank you for the follow. We really appreciate that. Jumping back over into Army here, we got Declan Henriquez. We had Declan on the show. He was one of our first interviews we ever did, and it was actually with Army, so it holds a little special place in my heart. And I don't think we've seen Declan compete yet. I believe this is going to be his first showing, so I'm excited to see what Declan's going to pull out of the box here. I believe his old teammate is my little Josh Reinstein. So I know they were both pretty good at rings, so let's see what Declan's got in store for us.
He's already swinging from the pole, so he's going to have to try to kill that.
There's
nice
a
back kit.
nice Maltese there.
yeah, good Maltese there. Could be a little bit flatter, but that's all right. Comebacks up into a back upright straddle planche. That's a hold. Nice hold from Declan there. Lower into the cross. That's a B. But good hold on the cross. I really like the way he swung out of that.
Same way that Josh does.
Mm-hmm.
The way he pulls out of it. Really, really nice.
Yep. Right into that. Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's a hard skill.
Nice front giant right there.
Mm-hmm.
Use a lot of strength.
That's what I
to try to
mounted
get
with.
From the basket, that's really difficult. right into the
Yeah.
back upright cross. That makes sense why he didn't do that earlier. But utilizing 2 crosses is very important.
So we should be seeing a back uprise L press handstand and a double back dismount from him. I don't believe that he does a C dismount. But we're gonna see. Maybe he's been working on something in the lab. So yep, right there, nice double back dismount.
But he got that
Stuck-
stick, boy.
Yeah,
Got that
stuck
good
landing.
stick.
There we go. So, really, really good routine. See why he is placed where he is in the lineup.
Yeah, really just, clean, consistent. That was a clean, consistent ring routine is what that looked like to me.
You got to go out there and get that C dismount, and he'll definitely be anchoring for them.
Yeah. So let's move over into Springfield. We're going to have John Robotham. Robotham, there we go. Any words for John?
Yeah, so John is so he does train other events, but I think rings is definitely his specialty for sure. I don't know if he is still training other events, but while I was training with him, he just did rings. But he's got some solid work, man. He has got beautiful, beautiful form and technique. His handstands are crisp and clean. They're really straight. He's very consistent in training. Hopefully we'll see a good routine from him here.
All right, so let's see what John's got for us. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. You can usually tell by the pull to inverted hang there, but that's the same thing Army's been doing, that kip to planche. And then we're going to see a straight press right off
Great
the
body.
jump. Almost Riley Luce-esque from that.
Shout out Riley.
Yeah. Beautiful back upright straddle planche. That's exactly what you want to see. Coming back down into the L. Hopefully, I believe probably going to go into some yams here after the second planche. It's a B planche pressing into it. There's that giant, beautiful giant from him. Really no
Good
movement,
control.
no swing kind of in the rings there. Right into a back upright straddle L. Gets that, I believe that's an A, right?
Back upright straddle low is a B.
Oh, excuse me.
I think it's a B. Yeah.
So good stuff. And then right up into that handstand. Good press. He's done 2 presses in this routine. And then a double back dismount with quite a big hop and chest down, unfortunately. So they're probably going to murder him on that dismount there. But regardless, I really like the construction and the beginning of that routine. I hope they can kind of get it to flow just a tad bit more because I feel like he's in a lot of handstands. But either way, really, really cool stuff coming out from John. You don't see that straight body press very often. So props to John for that.
So what grade is John in?
John's a senior now. It's crazy to say that. It makes me feel so old. But he's a senior now.
Oh, all right, nice. So 'cause I was gonna say maybe he come back next year and he could get a nice C dismount, a Yamawaki, and get a little bit of a more flowy construction, so he doesn't have to do 2 press in his routine. But I guess that's gonna be his probably one of his final routine structures for him. So always sad to see the seniors go. But here we're gonna be looking at Kieran Regan of Army. Really nice. There goes that back upright planche that they're famous for doing now. Now I'm seeing a little bit of a structure right there where they all do that press into back upright straddle planche.
Yep.
And then,
those
nice
first
back
3
press.
skills are pretty much consistent for everybody, right? Kip L, press the planche, come back down, swing up into the planche, and then they usually do their giants here, right? I mean, I feel like we're just watching the same guy over and over. It's about who can do it the best, right?
Yeah, some of them might put a cross in, one of them might put a mult in.
Yeah, just playing into their strengths, but nice yam sequence there into the back of Bryce Hill. Looks like he picked up a little bit of swing, but let's see if he can get up there and get this dismount. You think he's going to stick this one, Kanan?
No,
No? Ah.
I'm a terrible player.
Good
That's
stuff,
a hard
though.
dismount to land right there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a back 1.5, so I already knew that was coming, and that's why I expected that it wasn't going to be a sick, because a back 1.5 is a blind landing. Not that I was hating. I'm not hating, bro. Please.
It's just tough. It's tough to stick. Tough to land in general.
Shout out to the chat. Yeah, go Army, go Pride.
Ray Bridges.
Yeah, Ray
I feel like
Bridges.
he used to be on Springfield team. Is he not?
Ray Bridges.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar, possibly.
Do you know who I might be thinking of? Ray Del Gamboa. Incoming freshman at OU.
Well, no. My Gymnastics Life is somebody that's been with us a while. He's usually in our live streams, and he is a big Army fan. So shout out to My Gymnastics Life, man. Thanks for being here. All right, next routine up, we have David Handron. I believe David is a pretty consistent all-arounder for Springfield, so nice backup price plans just started off. Let's see what else he's got in store for us. That nice cast into a tuck yam, right into a beautiful pike yam, and then looks like he picked up a little bit of swing on that backup price straddle L, but hopefully he can kill it once he gets up into his handstand here. And by that I mean you got to really time your giant. Yep, perfect timing on the giant. So he killed all of his swing there.
That was nice.
Yep.
It's always nice when you see someone kill some swing.
Yeah.
Got
satisfying to watch.
So it's
see, class of 25.
There we go. Woo. Tucked half in, half out. That was absolutely beautiful.
Banger, bro.
Good sticks, good handstands, good holds. You can't really ask for much else. And that's probably why David's so deep in the lineup. Good stuff from David there.
So, Nick, Ray Bridges is actually going to be class of 2025. So.
Okay. Well, that's probably why I don't know him. Maybe I've seen his name on social media, possibly, but yeah, man, that's huge. I love hearing new names for Springfield for sure. So
I love
love.
I love testing my gymnastics knowledge. I've probably seen his name probably once. I couldn't tell you what event he does, anything. I've seen his name once. Really good. So nice to see some of the incoming freshmen going to be supporting their team now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seeing where they could fit in.
So this is it right here. This is the man. This is the man right here. This is Matthew Davis. Matthew Davis has not lost a ring title at every single meet that they've been to this year. So just watch this routine. It's very massive, really clean stuff, and Matt does it absolutely perfectly. So look at that beautiful backup right straddle planche from that Kip L. Remember, this is kind of the same sequence we've been seeing from all of the Army guys, but Matt just does it beautifully. Look at those pike yam. Wow. Look at that tuck yam. Absolutely perfect. Right into an amazing backup right straddle L. Let's see what else he's got in store for us. But so far, I barely have any deduction. Most of it has just come from the actual swing back and forth on the rings. So I believe he does two giants here.
So how much is that deduction for swinging between the rings? Because I'm not familiar.
Depending on how big it is, it can be it's 1/10 for every time that you swing back and forth. But there is kind of a leeway on it. Then there's a nice dismount from Matt Davis. Yeah, there's no way he's not taking that home. That was literally perfect, except the hop on the dismount right there. That's exactly what you want to see. Good stuff coming out from Matt. Man, I think the score to beat right now for Matt in order to take the event title so far would be a 12.85, and that was from his teammate Kieran Regan. And from what Matt had scored last week, I believe he scored a 13.5. So I don't know if he's going to score a 13.5 off of that routine, just given that he didn't stick. But either way, really good stuff from Matt, and I'm sure we're going to see a great score for him.
Yeah, that is what makes him the ring king. He's coming out here and he's taking event titles every single time he competes. So,
I got to say about Matt Davis, I competed against him for a couple years. That man is so good at just showing off his powerhouse style. I mean, he's got textbook form, and it's super pleasing to watch his gymnastics. He's just a powerhouse. He's a stud. For
absolutely.
Sure. Much respect.
Just so much fun to watch, man. But the last guy up for Springfield, this is Dominic Romaglio. I believe we saw Dominic in the all-around spot on Pommel Horse earlier, and now he's going to be in his spot here for Springfield on ring. So let's see what he's got, see what kind of strength he's going to be pulling out. I know he does a planche, and I know he does that kip to L and a giant. I know he's going to do a giant too, so it's about...
Well, he's actually not an all-around spot this time. He's actually going to be anchoring them in lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is we should be expecting him to be besting his teammates 12-7 that just came out.
Let's see if he can knock Matt Davis off his throne here. Really nice giant so far into a beautiful pike Yamawaki, into a beautiful tuck Yamawaki, into a back upright straddle L. That's exactly how you want that to look.
That hurts my shoulders.
We'll rush that a little bit.
Yeah, looks like he could have held that a little bit longer and waited for the right time to bail, but coming out and doing a tucked half in, half out, I don't think that's going to be enough to beat Matt Davis, but regardless, really good routine coming out from our boy Dominic. All right, looks like Matt Davis's score came in at a 13.15, so right around where I said it was going to be. and it looks like Matt's going to take home the event title for Ring. So props to Matt. And we're just waiting on Dominic's score to come in here. But during this time, as we are transferring rotations, I'd like to mention that we have a donation link in the description of the video. All of your donations go to help us make a better show. It helps us get equipment, and it helps us have more and more outreach so that we can bring you more and better gymnastics content. Looks like the score for Dominic came in at a 12.15. So about, looks like he got a little bit under 2 points off on that routine, but still good stuff coming out from Dominic. So we're going to throw it over into our event overlay here in a second. But Nick, what do you think of the meet so far?
Oh man, this is it's not only awesome to watch, but it's really, I don't know about you guys, but it's making me think about a comeback here. No, it's making me miss gymnastics a lot though, for sure. And seeing my old teammates compete again on the floor is awesome. Not quite like it is in person, but definitely great to watch again. So
yeah, there's nothing like being in the atmosphere, but for the time being, the Vertius platform allows for us to be able to view anything across any meet we want with any people we want across the entire world. So just to throw it into the chat as well, remember, if you guys have ideas for what you want to see on the Vertius platform, put it in the chat so that we can kind of get an idea, because there's a lot of stuff that we can do with the Vertius platform. It doesn't even have to just be in the United States. It can be across the entire world, right? It's a platform designed to kind of build into that. So
I want to just take a moment. So during that little break, I was looking at Ray Bridges. Looks like Springfield's committed some really, really good talent right over here. He has some Bobzars on P-bar, some double-doubles on high bar, Kovacs, Coleman's, double-doubles on floor. So, that got to be really good, looking ahead at your old team, Nick, and seeing that they're committing some guy like this,
Yes, for sure.
Young
one
talent.
second here. Bear with me here. I got to change locations real quick.
You're all good. While we take the time here, it looks like Springfield scored a 61.25 and Army scored a 63.5. So looks like Army is pulling into the lead a little bit here, but remember, this is only halfway through the meet, and this is pretty close. So I feel like any team can kind of take it at this point, and that's what makes a meet exciting, right? You don't know exactly who's going to win, whereas we've had some other meets in the past where we're watching like Oklahoma, and we're like, well, probably OU's going to take it. But with this meet, one of the beautiful things about it is both of these teams are on the same level. They are very similar in start value, and they've been very similar in execution averages. So I believe going into vault here in P-bars, one missed routine can put this in either team's favor. And that's what makes it exciting, right? So it looks like the guys are still gearing up for vault here.
Yeah. So let me get some a prediction from you, Isaac, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. How do you think that this is going to go? Do you think Army is going to increase their lead on Springfield for this vault rotation, or do you think that Springfield is going to be able to close the gap going into the second half of the meet?
This is Trevor Lamberton, by the way, as he runs down the vault runway, but I believe that Springfield's going to be able to bring it back around, but they have to hit good vaults here. I know that Springfield, a couple of them do fulls, and I believe they have one or two double fulls.
They're going to need to stick them.
Yeah, they're gonna need to do really clean vault, because I know that Army has a much higher start on vault compared to Springfield. So if they can, if Springfield can put down really clean vaults on everybody and get good landings, then they should not get gapped by Army here going into rotation 5. But that's dependent on Springfield, and it's also dependent on Army for them to be able to hit their routine. So the first guy up for Army here, we have Corbin Barstow. I believe he does a Yurchenko vault, as you can see from the mat in around the board. That's usually the common indicator for us, but looks like we're still just awaiting here. And two, for this, we'll be able to kind of track the scores, as we have the scoreboard on the bottom there. You can see Trevor Lamberton put up a 13.1. But here we go with Corbin. Yurchenko, looks like a nice Yurchenko 1.5. Looked like he stepped out of the line a little bit there, so that is going to be a neutral deduction. But, the step in the neutral deduction, the beautiful thing about doing your Yurchenko vault like that is you're not getting a lot of deduction on the board, right? On your pre-flight. Because
Right.
you come off of the board, your legs are together, your legs are straight, as compared to when you're doing a Kazumachu, which is the round off onto the table, right? So your hands are hitting the table and your feet are hitting the board, and then you're facing the table the whole time. You just see a big difference in execution there, right? Because your legs can be together the whole time as compared to the Kazumatsu where they are splitted coming off of the board. Next up for Springfield, we have Colin Marbury.
Yeah, so I don't think Trevor Lamberton's vault is going to be able to beat Corbin Basso just because it is coming from Yurchenko, and Corbin's was 4/10 higher. But we're going to start to see a little bit of a gap right here. Colin Marbury just does a cause. So really nice. We're
Yeah, and
gonna have to see
that's
what
one area that
does.
us as a team at Springfield kind of lacked, was the vaulting difficulty. We can hit some clean lay fulls, but when you're going against a team that has primarily 1.5 double full and even maybe 2.5 for your hand double front, it's hard to compete with that. Even if you are really clean. So hopefully we'll see some bigger improvements on that in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. So hopefully we get Ray Bridges. He does a Yurchenko double full I saw in his training video. So hopefully
Good deal.
you guys get that thing coming next year.
Yeah, that would help.
We're giving Ray Bridges a lot of shout outs this live stream.
Oh, and none of the other recruits are in here talking. I'm sure. I'm 100% positive there is somebody else in here watching.
But here
For
we go
sure.
with Graham Shaw on the vault. Let's see what Graham's got for us. That's a cause full.
Yeah.
So
Same vault that we just saw. I think it was done slightly worse than Collins. So we're gonna have to see where the score lines up. Collins' score came in at 12.9, and we're gonna see what the judges get Graham at. But he had a pretty big hop back, which is a 3/10 deduction, and I cannot remember if he stayed inbounds or if he was out of bounds.
Corbin or Colin?
No, Graham.
Graham. Yeah, he stayed inbounds. He did. But next up for Springfield, we got Charles Kramer. This is that powerhouse freshman that we have been talking about. He is a extremely gifted gymnast, and I believe he is doing all around for Springfield today. So I believe he does a double full, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see what he's got. Still getting ready.
I don't know
here.
if Charlie's doing all around. I don't think is he competing all around this competition? I didn't.
I believe so.
So there you go. Let's see. It looks like he's gonna be stepping in, and we'll see what he got going on. So we'll start to see some of the upgrades that Springfield has as they start going down the lineup. Here we're gonna be looking at a cause half, so a 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, good stuff.
You see what I said? I said I'm sure that somebody else from Springfield recruits are in here watching. I used to do it when I committed to Penn State. I'm sure Isaac used to do it as well when Isaac has a different story. But yeah, Matthew Brown, I definitely have heard your name. Definitely have heard your name as well. So.
Yeah, shout out to the recruits that are here, and I'd say so far the vaults from Army that have been coming out have been pretty good. But here we go with Jackson Popple. Believe he does do a double full. So let's see what Jackson's going to have in store for us. I really, really, really want to see some clean landings here. We've seen a couple of the guys at Army step out of bounds, so I'm hoping that they can kind of clean that up going up into their later guys here. But this will be the third guy up for Army. Let's see what Jackson's got. Oh, that's just a cause full.
So a full, he took one step out, so he'll have a 1/10 neutral deduction for that. But really nice clean vault.
So it looks like Army is still leading on the vault. So we're gonna need some cleaner vaults here from Springfield. Otherwise, because I want them to come out and keep it close. But they gotta just clean up just a little bit on their vaults here. Looks like they're about a point behind right now. So hopefully they can keep these landings good and they're not stepping out of bounds. But for next up here, we're gonna have Noah Kendosia.
Yeah, I mean, he does a Yurchenko vault here, so that'll take some deduction off the pre-flight.
Let's see what he's got. Oh, nice double full, but unfortunately steps out of bounds. Unfortunately steps out of bounds, so that will be a neutral deduction for both of those feet that are outside of the lines.
Yeah, really, really clean vault in the air. It's important to note that at least it was an upgrade where they stepped out of bounds on. It's better to keep it. If you're gonna have those deductions, if you're gonna have more deductions, add more difficulty at the same time. Yeah. So that was a really good Yurchenko vault, and they're putting it down.
Yeah, just got to get these landings. But next up, man, the myth, the legend, Matthew Davis for Army. Really excited to see what Matt's going to do. Like I've said all meet, Matt is the man to watch on Army. He puts it down on every single event, including Vault. I believe he has taken a couple of Vault titles as well. So let's see what Matthew's going to be doing today. We need some music right here, some dun 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 dun, like some Jeopardy style thing as we're waiting for these guys to run down the vault runway.
A little hype up.
But let's see what he's got. Matthew Davis here.
1.5 and really, really long vault.
So big step.
It's not when someone does a longer vault, it's not usually that the vault was wrong and there's anything flawed with it. It's usually harder to get a higher block off the vault. So it's you have to fit more flips in a further period going across rather than a further period going up.
Yeah.
So it's just something to look out for. Usually a good vault is going up, but Sam McCulloch does his 2.5 extremely far, which I have no idea why he does it. If you're watching this, I don't know how he pulls it around, but that was a pretty long vault for him.
Yeah, so next up we got Dominic Romaglio for Springfield. Dominic's gotta put up a good vault here. Really, he really does. It's getting down kind of into the wire for Springfield here to be able to keep this thing even. Springfield has the opportunity to really pull forward here as they are only about 0.6 underneath Army before this vault. So let's see what he's got. Nice double full. Double full
1 foot out too.
Yeah, but that's it. There's not a lot else to take there. It's clean in the air, it's clean in the pre-flight, lands. Yeah. Right. I mean, I didn't see any problems with that. I think that's going to allow Springfield to be able to step up and maybe even the score back out, so that Yeah. I think Vault is Springfield's. Sure. Like Nick was saying earlier, Springfield is weakest on Vault. So if they're able to kind of keep it even on this event,
I'm
see some good stuff.
I'm so excited to see this P bars and high bar, because I don't think that Springfield will be able to take Army going on the vault at least, but I think going into P bars and high bar, I think we're gonna see some really big momentum shifts. And looking at some of the Springfield recruits, they committed a lot of P bars high bar floor.
Yeah.
Matt, I noticed you, man. He does a really good P bars high bar on floor, so. I'm excited to see what they got going on right now, currently on those two events.
From what I remember from Wednesday, they do pretty quick P-bar routines. But here we go, Miguel Anconio. Nice double front there. Ooh. I don't even think he got the butt bounce, Cannon. I think he got that one.
Well, we're gonna have to see by the score. I hate calling double fronts early. And I used to watch him all the time, be like, I think he landed, did he not? Be like, I'll just wait to see what the judge says. I think the judge is going to say that he landed that one.
I do too. It looked like he got his feet. If you don't know what we're talking about, a lot of times when you see guys do double front skills on vault, on floor, if they don't make the rotation around all the way, they'll actually land on their butt and then bounce, literally do a butt bounce off the floor and then land on their feet. But as you can see from Miguel right there, I think he got it. I think he hit his
Oh,
feet
he got
first
it.
and kept it. Did you rewatch it
Yeah,
back?
it didn't look that low on the landing for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm watching it right now on 0.25 speed. He got it.
Yeah.
He got some strong knees for that. My gosh.
Yeah, that's some good stuff coming out from Miguel there. But that is a 15-2 vault. He put up a 13.9 on that, so good stuff coming out from him. But let's see this next vault for Springfield. Unfortunately,
Double full.
looks like he had to tuck that down. I'm not too sure about how they're going to take that deduction. They're probably going to give him a 3/10 for that leg bend and then the small step there. So, oh man,
Really?
I hope John Murphy can go in and beat somebody else out of the lineup on that skill.
I think he definitely will.
But let's kick it back over into
Yeah.
Army here. We have one more guy. This is Ben Guiri for
So if you
Army.
want to replay, you can rewind your YouTube stream, and we're working on trying to get that feature to you guys. But we are going to need a little bit of help with support, and that also includes donations as well. So, yeah. Just a reminder that we are going to have a replay feature eventually. It just we're working on it, and it's only us two doing this full time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the replay stuff is hard. I have to buy some equipment for it, and unfortunately, we're just not to that point yet. But
Yeah, you guys can see the donation goal down in the bottom left for a new camera. But here's Ben Gueri.
oh
1.5 step back, pretty clean.
yeah, Kazumatsu 1.5. That's all. That's what you want to see, right? Just keeping it kind of clean. The score that he needed to beat out there is a 12.85. That was from Jackson Popple. If you remember, he had a neutral deduction and stepped out of bounds. But honestly, not too bad coming out from our friends at Springfield here. Looks like they put up a 67.05. And before Ben Gueri's vault is in, Army put up a... Oh, here's Ben's score has come in at a 13.2. So they won't be counting that. But, given that Springfield, like Nick was saying, Springfield is not super strong on vault. The fact that they could put up, within 0.5 of Army on vault, that's really good for them, especially going into two volatile events like P-bars and high bar. But as we move into our next rotation here, we're going to get some of this event overlay stuff updated for you guys so we can kind of take a look and view the total scores. But at this time, we would like to say thank you for being here, and thank you very, very, very much for the support. Like Cannon has said, we have a donation link in the description of this video, and we're really excited to kind of see, what we can do with a little bit more funding. So, any amount of money helps us, and it goes a really long way in order for us to help save men's gymnastics. It's an absolute thing that we spend. I basically at this point I've dedicated my life to it, so it absolutely means the world. And like I said, that link is in the description. But let's kind of kick it over into just the event overlay as we're waiting for these guys to get ready for their next rotation here. This is Springfield and Army. As you can see, Springfield put up a 67.05 and Army put up a 67.5. So Army's just slowly creeping into the lead here, and they're about 3 points ahead of Springfield. But with these two next events, parallel bars and high bar, you could see anything happen, really. I mean, that's when the meet gets exciting, right? Guys get a little bit fatigued, and you might fall off P-bars once, and all it takes is 2 meltdowns, and that sends you from a 63. That sends you from a 63 on P-bars to a 57, right? So during this time too, Nick, the first guy up for us is going to be Charles Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
Any words for Mr. Charles here?
Yeah, I think like I said before, Charlie is a really, really strong all-around gymnast, and I'm not expecting some huge skills here, but I'm definitely expecting some really clean technique and some really clean skills. So let's check this out.
All right, Charlie, let's see what Charlie's got in store for us. Remember, Springfield likes to keep their P-bars routine clean and concise. So let's see kind of what Charlie is going to be in store for. We saw a nice moy and a nice swing to handstand. Good handstands from Springfield as well with that beautiful peach to an L. Good hold. You always want to hold that L. Presses right up into a handstand.
You can see how controlled he is, too. All of his gymnastics is so controlled. He comes off very confident, especially for a freshman.
There you go.
Front full
with
stick.
stick dismount,
See,
baby.
clean.
Fly.
Get in there, get out, hit your set. That was really good. Nice job, Charlie.
Stuck the landing. You know what I just realized, Isaac?
Yeah.
I actually have never watched Springfield because that one time that we were going to watch Springfield, I actually had a Spanish exam. So
Yeah.
I've realized that you keep mentioning like I've seen it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen them. So this is actually really interesting to me to watch these routines because this is my first time to watch. So really good stuff coming out of there. We're gonna be kicking it to the first guy up for Army, which is gonna be Patrick Armstrong. Patrick has been shown on a multitude of events, most notably pommel horse and rings that we are watching Patrick on, which was pretty deep into the lineups on those events. So excited to see what he got going on for P-Bars.
Yeah, it looks like they're still kind of setting up here, but there we go. Patrick looks like he is ready now. Patrick does one of the most interesting entries. I love these side P-Bars entries that guys do, right?
I agree.
Super, right, Nick? It's super unorthodox. And, never mind. I'm completely wrong. Looks like he's just going to do a jump up into an underbar cast right into a beautiful whippet.
Yeah, I love my whippets. So back giant really clean, Stutz really clean, into a nice
Didn't quite hold
B-boy.
that.
He's keeping his arms straight and his handstand clean and straight, which is always a plus. Nice little peach to support, which is a B value skill, into a nice press handstand, which is also a B value skill. So P-Bars, nailing those B's in season. Really, really nice double pike dismount. Just a small hop right there. And at some meets, they might even give that a stick.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. So that was a really, really nice thing.
That was a really good routine, especially for first guy up. I mean, normally we've seen a couple of guys at Army just do double backs, right? We saw that happen a lot during their last showing that we had the opportunity to cast. But here we go with Alexander Fitzgerald for Springfield.
Yeah. So I don't know what gym Patrick Armstrong came from. Sorry, I don't know all about gymnastics. I know a good amount, I think. But
Kenan is an encyclopedia. I will say that. But
Yeah, Fitz here, he's a really tall guy. He actually has to raise the P-bars one notch just to get his swing under the bars. He's had some pretty big skills in training. I don't know if he'll be competing it, but I guess we'll find out here.
yeah.
so what's it like training with a guy like that is so tall and has to raise the bars on P-Bars? Because I remember what it was like when I had a gymnast like Paul Brower, Sebastian Kiana, Andrew Brower even was close to raising the bars.
Whoa.
What's that like?
Ooh, that's a
That
unique
is
skill
a
right
cool
there.
sequence.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
peach right into another peach to a straddle cut.
Mhm.
That's really neat. That reminds me of
Ooh,
that same
right there.
pommel horse sequence we had saw earlier today. But unfortunate arm bend there, and then the double back coming
Big
out with a
pop.
small stop. But good stuff. Springfield has
Yeah.
got a lot of like cool connection stuff that flows really well. Like I've never seen anybody do that. Connect a peach right into a peach straddle cut.
Yeah.
You know what connection I really want to see? I want to see a whippet immediately into a peach, into a front toss.
That
and
would be
then
pretty
into
cool.
a peach to basket straddle cut.
You're gonna have to hit up Blake Sun for that one, bud.
Yeah. I should have done that during my days of doing gymnastics. That
Right.
would have just been fun just to do for a single day.
But yeah, I really like how Springfield's been able to kind of make those cool connections. We saw that on horse as well, so good stuff. Nick, what'd you think of that routine?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Fitz do a lot higher valued skills in training in his routines. Maybe it's different from last year, but hey, he hit his set. A little struggle there in the handstand at the end, but he did his job, hit his set. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied. But knowing Fitz too, I know he'll strive for better in training for sure. So
Nice. We're going to be looking at Zach Mitchell. He's been coming up. Zach has had a little bit of trouble on his P-bar set with his arm bend. So I'm excited to see how he tries to rectify this.
Thank you very much for that donation. That means so much, and it helps us an insane amount. You have no clue. Thank you so much for that. But let's jump in to Zachary Mitchell for Army here.
Yeah, so keep out a lookout for his arm bend.
You see that, Huey?
Yeah, so really nice here. Looked like he clipped the bar actually a little bit, but recovered well and just what I was talking about. He went back in the gym and he fixed his arm bend on his handstand.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Nice peach to support L.
Good L hold
press.
there.
Really nice. So we should be looking at a dismount, double pike.
Yep, there's that double back.
There
Remember,
double tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really nice. Little 3/10 step on the dismount. I'd be willing to say that's a 1/10 step.
I
also noticed from
I'm gonna give it to him 1/10 step.
What were you saying, Nick?
I also noticed. Oh, sorry about that. I also noticed from Army, they do a lot of Heelys. Most of the guys do a lot of Heelys, which is really a smart move because it's a relatively easy B when you get it consistent. And that's something I would like to see Springfield put in there is more Heelys.
Yeah, I would too. The Springfield guys, I don't understand how they do the routines so fast. But they don't have, I've noticed they don't have a ton of above the bar work. So maybe getting a couple of Heelys in there would be really nice. Yeah, this Springfield team is looking really nice. Nice.
I'm gonna count it up right now to
L.
see how many above the bar skills that they actually have.
All right, let's look at it.
Because if you guys don't know, you're only allowed to have 5 above the bar skills and 5 below the bar skills. So that's actually above the bar skill.
Yeah, that back up rise to handstand there. And a pirouette as well. Really beautiful handstands from Springfield. That's something I've been talking about a lot. That's that Diom. Is he really going to swing down like that? Wow. Now that's P-bars right there. Not moving your hands, staying in that crazy wide stance into a beautiful double pike. Thank you again for that donation. Thank you so much. That means so much. We're trying and doing our best. Really enjoy the streams and grateful for your work to Saves Men's Gymnastics. Thank you very much.
Champs.
But yeah, as you noticed though, Springfield, especially here on P-bars, we have really, really solid foundation skills that are really clean, and we can do those and perform those well. We're just kind of lacking that difficulty there. So, obviously execution is a huge part of it, but when you can get that difficulty in there, that would help us tremendously in the future.
Yeah, difficulty would definitely help Springfield, but I mean, just working with what they have right now, they're doing a great job, right?
Doing great, yeah.
They're doing an awesome job, and from what I remember, moving into here, I know we got a lot of Army fans here, and this is Matthew Martin. We've seen him on a couple events. Very talented guy, and I know his P-bars routine is a little bit bigger than some of the other ones we've seen today. So let's kind of see what Matthew's got in store for us. I believe he does a double front dismount. So nice Moy into the middle there.
A little bit of a struggle getting into his handstand. So
yeah.
Harada? Oh no, straddle front.
Oh, right on the bar. That gotta hurt.
That's what I say. Yeah, so it looked like he just got a little bit crooked and couldn't get his legs in. But best, we talk about it all the time, the gymnast mentality and the resiliency. Everybody that messes up in routine, you always got to get back to the dismount. So.
And then there's that double front I was talking about. Good save. Looked like he almost did I was going to sit but
that's what gymnastics about. You might mess up, but you always have to make sure you put a good dismount on your feet. And that's what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, right? You want to make sure that you stay on your feet.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, he actually did he made that routine all the way to the end the last meet and actually fell on the dismount. So this time, he got all the way through and made the dismount. That was kind of an uncharacteristic fall to see someone hit the bar like that. But
yeah.
So, he's going in the gym and he's improving upon his mistakes of the previous meets. So
yeah, so they're
really
getting
good.
better and better. Next up for Springfield here, we have David Handron, absolute stud. We've seen him on a bunch of other events today. And let's watch what he's got in store. Nice underbar cast to start off and do a beautiful whip it right into the straddle cut.
I was just talking about those cool little combos out of the whip it.
Yeah,
yep.
That is really cool.
David's got some big skills for sure. From what I've seen in his training videos. Oh, got off on that Diom there a little bit.
Good save on that Diamondov,
Nice
though.
save, though. Yeah.
Just working through, staying on the bar, trying to keep his handstands as nice as he can do. And then I believe this is going to be his dismount right here into a double pike, but unfortunately puts it right on his dome piece.
My God. Yeah, that was right to the dome.
Man.
Right to the finger.
That is...
That's unfortunate. Like, you know what? I know exactly what our coach, Matt Davis, is saying right now. He's like, do not let that fall affect us. Just put it behind us and let's focus on the next routines because it's all in the past now.
Well said, Nick. That's what it's about, right? When you're at that meet, especially kind of in that environment, I'm sure all of us as NCAA gymnasts can kind of speak to that, right? When you're in a place like that and somebody falls in the lineup, you're not focused on the fall at all, right?
Right.
You're not. You're like, we got to shake that off, and then I'm going to go up there and do the best gymnastics that I can do to reset the tone for the team.
So
exactly.
At least it was a very characteristic fall of a double pike, you know. TPing is what we call it when you do that on double pike, when you're like, almost like a tent is what you just did, you know.
And it stings. It stings your ankles really bad. I've done that on double pikes multiple times, and it does not feel good.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us, so, you know.
Yeah, but unfortunate for our man David there. But here we go with Kieran Regan for Army. Kieran's a stud on P-bars. Let's take a moment and just watch this routine here. Beautiful giant to start off there, right into a Moy into the middle. We've seen that sequence from a couple of guys now on Army, but
big Healy there.
Nice Healy.
Really nice. To a beautiful pirouette, and then let's see what else we're gonna see in store. Ooh.
Yeah,
whoa,
nice little front toss. So that's a B value skill.
That was clean. Like laid out.
Yeah, like no deduction on that. That was really nice.
Really nice.
Good L hold there and press up into a handstand, and then let's see this dismount. Is he gonna get it? Yep, got that double pike around. Took a pretty big step. It's probably gonna be about 5/10, but hey, it's better than not making it. So good stuff for him.
Yeah, so really nice. He was holding his L's. And he was also holding his handstands, which actually is a deduction if you don't hold those on P-bars. Mm-hmm. For some of the parents and some of the gymnastics enthusiasts out there, you have to hold your L's and press handstand. But there are some exceptions to that. I won't get into them, but all these gymnasts so far have been adhering to those rules of holding the L's and handstands so far. So
yeah. So here we go with Dominic Romaglio for Springfield. Nick, let's get a breakdown on Dominic here.
Yeah, man. I mean, training with him last year as a freshman, he accomplished a lot, and he's just a really, really strong all-around gymnast. And right here, I'm not expecting a huge set, but I'm expecting a very clean set. So hopefully he puts up a big score and can reset that fall from David. So we'll see what we got, what he's got here.
Well, beautiful peach to start off into a nice handstand. Wow.
Beautiful Diom right to handstand. Right
wow.
To Tapel.
Oh, my gosh. Into the Tapel.
Nice Tapel.
Beautiful, right into the pirouette. We're going to see another under the bar skill, Moy to support.
You notice a lot of people do the Moy's bent leg here in this meet, but he did his Moy straight leg, so he's got a little bit more difficulty with that in Tapel too.
Wow.
A nice front layout half dismount. That dismount feels
beautiful.
So good.
Yeah. He got the stick. Not a big dismount, but everything he did on the P-bars was massive.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that was an extremely clean routine. I'm expecting him to take the P-bar's crown actually after that. I don't know what he starts at, but I'd imagine it's probably higher than his teammates prior, which is
well, he was working double fronts last year, I know that, and he probably just doesn't have the gas to do it right now at the end of a routine. But once he gets that double front in there and maybe another C or D skill, he is you're looking at a big routine from Dom there.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive routine, especially with how clean it is. I really like that. But for Army here, my man Matthew Davis.
Yeah, here he goes. So if anybody could take the P-bars title from Dom right there, it's gonna be Matt Davis. Dom's score just came in at a 13.2.
Beautiful.
Which is 0.3 higher. My mistake. 0.2 higher than the highest score from currently on P-bars.
Yeah.
As we're gonna be looking at Matt Davis trying to beat that out.
Man, I'm excited for Matt Davis. Man, I really love his gymnastics. Beautiful whip it to start it off. Gets right up into that handstand. Let's see what else Matt has got for us. Looks like a peach here, right up into that handstand. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look how good that handstand position is from Matt there. That's beautiful. Right into an amazing Diom. Oh, wow. Oh,
Does he do a Suarez here, maybe?
Small step. I don't believe so.
Okay.
And then does a nice stutz. Wow. I love watching Master Gymnastics. He has such clean lines. Nice L hold here, and then we're probably going to see a press into a dismount.
Man, if he sticks this dismount or even just lands it, I think he might get this one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was big.
Good stuff coming out from Matt.
Unfortunately, I'd like to see Dom take it, but, much respect to Matt.
Yeah, just like I said, man, Matthew Davis, you can see him come out to a meet and take every event title. It's actually insane.
I got him scoring at a 13.2. I was doing a little bit of a judges thing right now, so we're gonna see how close he gets to a 13.2. Oh, his score already came up, and it's a 13.3. So one away from what the judges have put him at. So
just
right
one
now,
up Dom. That's
taking the P-Bar title.
They had to give it to him. But P-Bars is not over, guys. There is still 2 more routines, 1 for each team, and you never know what they're going to bring to the table here. Just to kind of point into how clean Dominic was, though, if you really think about it, Dominic started at a 14.0 and Matthew Davis started at a 14.7. And they only had 7/10 difference in start value, and Matt only won by 1/10. So let's see what our friend Trevor Lamberton from Springfield is going to show us right now.
Again, Trevor is a very clean gymnast. He's qualified to NCAAs as an all-arounder in the past. I think at least once, and maybe twice. So just expect a clean P-bar routine from him here. Hopefully he gets that double front dismount here.
Oh, no.
God, I hate it when people roll out.
Yeah.
The double
That's
front
too bad.
just
That fall and then David's fall are going to cost us quite a bit, and we really, really need to pick it up here on high bar if we have any hope of taking home the W. So.
Well, I've got faith. I think as long as they come out there and hit 5 for 5, that's all they can do, right? Like that's the best the best gymnastics that they can do. So that's what they need to be worrying about. But for our last guy up for Army, this is going to be Jackson Popple. Looks like Trevor Lamberton's score came in at a 12.05. So without that fall,
yeah,
it was. It really was. Without that fall, he would have been around a 13, probably a 13-1. And that would have put them right up in there with the rest of the guys. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, I'm sure Trevor's going to get back in the gym and crush it for the next weekend.
Yes, he will. And that's the other thing. Trevor has got a super good work ethic. I mean, that kid, when he walks in the gym, I mean, he means business. He is in there strictly to be the best he can for our team. So
that's a good problem to have, though. At least over rotating the double front. A lot of people under rotate it. So
he's got power on that.
Exactly.
I'd much rather over rotate anything.
So let's get into Jackson here, man. Nice little peach to support into an L, into a press to start it off, into a beautiful Healy. Very clean.
No hand movement, too.
None.
That's really nice to see.
Nice Diom. Looks like he stepped his hand back a little bit there into a stutz, but a small arm bend there. Hopefully he can kind of clean it up here going into the next couple of skills, but nice pirouette, keeping everything really clean. A lot of above-the-bar work here from him into a, backup rise handstand, into a double back.
Double back with the stick.
With the stick.
Now.
Wow.
Throw up the flag. Throw up the green flag.
We need a green flag in the studio. Yeah, grab that.
You should get that. That'd be a good idea.
My green mask I got on Amazon. Shout out Amazon.
Yeah, so whenever somebody sticks now, we're going to throw the green flag up. Be like, that's a stick right there, baby.
Sheesh.
All right, so we got high bar next here, and I got to say something about high bar. So personally, from experience, high bar to me is like the scariest event, but I love watching it for sure.
So we're going to get it cracking on the event overview here, just so we can kind of take an idea and look at what Springfield needs to do coming into this last rotation in order to beat Army, and what Army needs to be able to do in order for them to stay ahead here. Just going to give it a second to load up, but while we're waiting, we'd like to mention we have a donation link in the description of this video. All of your donations go in order for us to be able to keep doing this and get better equipment so that we can show better and better and better and better gymnastics. That's the point. That's the goal. We want to have as many people as possible on here so that people can experience the sport of gymnastics and understand how beautiful it can really be. So let's get the event overlay over for us to be able to look at. Once again, that link is in the bio. We have a donation ticker on the main page as well. So it's like kind of fun to watch that thing. fill up as we save up for a new camera. We got a bunch of other stuff we want to be able to film, but we kind of need a camera for it. Coming in here, Springfield 61.3 on P-bars, while Army did a 62.15. About a point difference there for the teams, and as we can see, Army just pulled ahead a little bit more. Remember, going into P-bars, Army was only up 3 points. Now they're up 4 points. But something I want to point out is we haven't seen really a lot of falls from either team, right? We've seen pretty good routines from everybody, and if I'm not mistaken, has Army fell at all today, Cannon?
No, I don't think they've fallen yet. Not at all.
So they're about to go 30 for 30.
Randy would always talk about that. You gotta hit all your routines. You go 30 for 30, you'll win NCAAs, you know? And, you know, they're going out here and they're doing it, so.
Well, let me,
big ups to them.
I could give a little bit of a clout out to that because it is true. My team in 2019 ended up winning Big Ten championships. I got my ring next to my bed. It's one of the most grand accomplishments of my entire life. And let me just say that, you know, having that ring, the only reason we got it was because we went 29 for 30 at Big Tens. So, just saying, you get that opportunity.
Where was the one fall?
I don't want to call him out, man.
Oh, no, I didn't say who. I said where.
It was rings.
Rings? That was the event?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's the one event that they're going to have the fall on?
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be on Pommel Horse, but, you know.
No, actually.
High bar.
Oh, my gosh.
Floor.
That was hype. Let me tell you about that, man. When we got onto high bar, I knew once we hit Pommel Horse, man, I was like, psh, it's over. Yeah. We're about to take the dub. You know, there's nothing more exciting than being in that atmosphere and you know, going into your couple of last events, kind of like what we're doing right now, you know. So just talking about it here, it looks like our first guy up for Springfield's going to be up, and it looks like Springfield is down about 5.5 points. So Springfield needs to hit very, very clean sets, and they need all 6 of their guys to hit. If that doesn't happen, I don't see Springfield coming back from this. But
now, to make this a little bit of a story, this is Army's lowest ranking events. So all the other events there ranked from 13 to 12. This is their 15th ranked events.
Right.
They're ranked 15th in the nation on this event. So
we saw from the last time at Army there was a couple of falls, especially on those releases. But let's get it with Dane Kramer here.
So big, yep.
Yep, the little bro here. Let's see what he's got. Nice Yamawaki to start it off.
Huge yum.
Beautiful. Right into that
full spin. This kid has
full
always
spin.
had beautiful lines on high bar here, so we'll.
Oh, nice
Weiler.
Weiler.
So Pommel Horse and high bar for Dane. Interesting combo. And
got a good swing overall.
Here comes his.
He's got to get this dismount. Nice stick coming out. That's exactly what you want to see, especially on this last event. It's so close.
Like a robot.
Yeah.
Like a double tuck. Ding.
Looking like a video game out here. Oh, man. That's getting me stoked. Hopefully they can keep that momentum up. That's a great way to start. That's exactly what you want to see coming out from little bro Dane Kramer out here.
You know who
yes,
looked
sir.
like that? Blake Wilson was sticking like that the other day.
Yeah.
Like he's stuck and it was like did not move.
Just
like the
robot.
Terminator. Dane is like the Terminator right now.
Oh my god.
Any of the Springfield gymnasts out there right now, that's his new nickname, the Terminator.
The Terminator, I love it.
Dane Kramer, the Terminator. All right, let's get in. Patrick Armstrong here. So far, really clean routine. Nice stalled her into a pirouette there, and to another stalled her up to handstand. Let's see what else he's got here.
Patrick's been putting it on the whole day. I don't expect him to waver. Not on high bar. Not on the last event when his team needs it.
I don't either. But
he's really cooking this routine
see if he
right
can
here.
get this dismount around. Let's see what he's got in store for us.
Half and half out.
Nice.
Big hop back.
Nice.
All right.
Stayed on his feet. Over-rotated a little bit. Probably could have spotted the ground just a little bit better. Kind of did that thing that Cannon tells me about high bar guys doing where they throw their head up into their shoulder and watch that rotation come around.
Hold the shoulder. But, the main thing is that he stayed on the vent and, he got a hit routine. That's all they're really going to need to keep the lead. They just need to hit the routines. And Springfield needs to crush the routines. And they're also going to need a little bit of help on Army's side for a couple falls.
But hey, Dane Kramer, man, coming out there and showing what he's got. You know, he only starts out at 13.2, but he scored an 11.45. So that's a clean high bar set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really, really
you'll see some big improvements with him too. Again, completely unbiased, but
well, as he gets better and better, and we're able to cast him more and more, we'll make sure to have you, Nick, back on the show so we can talk about your brother more and more.
oh, absolutely, I would love to.
All right, so let's get into it, man. This is going to be Charles Kramer now. I think it's hilarious that they have two guys with the same last name, but the only difference is one's spelled with a C and the other one's spelled with a K.
Yeah. It was kind of confusing, I guess, saying it, but the more you get to know him and you see it spelled different, But yeah, Charlie here. To be honest, I haven't seen much of his high bar, so you guys probably know as much as I do here with his set. So let's see what he's got in store.
From what I remember from Wednesday, he did do a pretty good high bar routine. I want to say somebody on Springfield does a ginger, and I'm not exactly sure if he does. I don't feel like he does, but we'll end up seeing. I believe he does a lot of B work.
I was going to say, don't ask me. I had Spanish.
Yeah, I know. I know he does a couple stalders and a lot of pirouette work, but let's see kind of what he's got here. I think it's that Yamawaki to start off. Nice Yamawaki coming out from Charlie. Oh,
Whoa.
bent arms on that cast there. Hopefully he can kind of turn this routine back around.
He's got a beautiful giant work. See, his technique is just unmatched. It looks so textbook and crisp. He trained at North Shore Gymnastics Academy in Minnesota, and the head coach there, Dale, really stressed technique big. So you can see that here.
Looks really great. Laid out half in, half out with a small step. Ooh. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, well, you can definitely tell. You can see the technique right there where he does a really defined front half, back half. Yeah. Back half into a nice front half.
I felt like for me, the place I could see it the most with that technique was on that last endo. He really kept his distance away from the bar and was able to really snap it up. Yeah. Thought that was really nice. So it looks like so far the teams are pretty much neck and neck with the two guys that have gone so far. Looks like Charlie's score came in at an 11.3, and Patrick, the last Army guy we saw, he scored an 11.9. But right here, we're going to see Zachary Mitchell for Army. Let's see what he's got in store.
So let's look at Zach Mitchell. So over the past 3 meets, he put up a 10.0, a 10.25, and 11.85. So
we got some German giants really here. You don't see that as often in NCAA gymnastics.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right, Nick. That is a crazy sequence right there. I don't think he made that the last time that he competed. I think he fell off on that, but
yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, going and getting his Eagle Giants there right into
another
endo. Yeah, endo while in the Eagle position. Didn't really make it up to that handstand though. I think they're going to get him on some angles.
Nobody ever does make such a handstand.
Yeah, I know. And then, oh my gosh, it looks like he didn't get the right tap, went for the laid in half and half out, and got afraid and ended up tucking it in. Army looks like they might be cracking under that pressure.
Well, look, I told you, all they got to do is stay on their feet, and at least he stayed on his feet. He did the smart play, said, hey, let me not risk a D dismount and my health and the team's success. I'm just going to play it safe with the C dismount, and I'm going to take home the dub. So
Well said. So as we're waiting for Zachary Mitchell's score to come in, this is getting very exciting. This is Kyle Lukasco.
So, Nick, I want to ask
Lukasco.
So, Nick, let me ask you, as we're in a little bit of a downtime. So, why did you go to Springfield, and what's a reason for another JO kid to go to Springfield?
You know what? I would say the biggest reason why I went to Springfield was so we have this thing called the tradition of excellence, which is what we live by as gymnasts there. And that was not only portrayed, but it was radiated to the point where I could feel it. And I knew that if I would commit there, that I would live up to that standard, or I would at least give 110% every day to live up to that standard. So that's what really sold me. And I think when you go and visit campus yourself, it's you definitely get that feeling. So I would stress those young JO guys that are interested in NCAA gymnastics and curious, take a trip to Springfield, go visit it. Talk to the gymnast there and the head coach. I think you will not regret it at all.
All right, so
that was said.
Well said, but before we say anything else, look at this mount. He's starting
Yeah.
in an eagle grip. I used to do that in JO. That's super cool. I've never
Yeah.
seen anybody else do that.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that because I couldn't
Now,
get
watch
into my
Kyle-
Eagle Giant to get my Eagle Giant credit.
Kyle here, his execution is probably the best on high bar we have at Springfield. Last year he got, I believe he got like 4/10 off on a routine. It was insane.
Yeah, look at that.
Super
Look, that was
clean.
beautiful. Tkachev coming over the bar right into. Wow. Yeah, this is extremely
now
clean.
I'm gonna start I'm gonna start.
He does
judging
not
this
break
routine.
form no matter what. So
And then
let's get that
crank
stick
it around
here.
for the double layout. Almost
Ooh.
got the stick. Come on, man. You got to get those sticks. I
Was
want to
that a
get this green
step
flag
or a-
up.
Was that a step or a hop?
That was a hop.
Okay.
That was a hop.
That was a hop.
Yeah, so I think I got him at like literally 2/10 off for that entire routine. So really
Yeah.
good stuff.
Really clean. I mean, all that Stalder work, that Tkachev was textbook.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking for some of these angles, that was a really good example of how you should be hitting some of those Stalders and even those Eagle Giants. The Eagle Giants, you get hit for an angle deduction for not passing through a handstand. And he did all of those. Stalders and those Eagle Giants all to handstand. So very, very, very beautiful work.
So it just looks like right now, Springfield is out executing Army, but Army's start value on their routines is kind of carrying them through right now to keep the lead here. But for Army now, we have Calvin Kingshill. We saw him on a couple of events. I believe we saw him on Pommel Horse earlier, but I could be mistaken. But let's see kind of what Calvin's going to start off doing here. Looks like he's in a mixed grip to get it jumping. Believe he's probably going to start with a vault catch right over the bar. Beautiful work. Not the hardest skill in the world, but he did it very clean.
Clean.
Into a pirouette. And then let's see what else he's got in store. I believe he does a... Yep, there's that Stalder.
He's got clean lines, very clean gymnast here I can see.
Nice work so far. I'm really, really, really hoping that he can stay on the bar and do a really good job. But here's that jam.
Jam.
Nice jam. Little bit late, but then gets the Eagle Giant right out of it into the pirouette. Gotta attack those angles a little bit. Looks like he's just kind of letting him swing over. But let's see this crank around for the dismount. And there's a tucked half in, half out. Woo! With a almost stick, just a small step back.
Tucked
Pretty
half
solid.
and half outs look really, really nice off high bar. I like them. Yep. So the live stream is going to be available for you guys all to watch over there on YouTube after we are done live streaming. The video will be posted to YouTube for everybody to watch over and over and over again to watch all your favorite gymnasts.
Yep.
There you
Go
go.
in there. You can see everybody. Go back in and look at all of the highlights. It is a blast. Like, we like to watch back our meets to kind of get an idea of the energy and understand, areas that we can improve as commentators. So let's go in here, man.
Here goes Dom one last time today.
Yep, this is going to be Dom's last thing. I believe Dom did all around, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
Dom's an all-arounder today. Yeah, I mean, I think he hasn't fallen yet, has he?
No, he has not.
No, he is not.
Well, let's hope he hits 6 for 6 here. That'll be good for his individual all-around score for this season. So hopefully he hits here.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hopeful.
Really, really good for his confidence as well, especially for an all-arounder going 6 for 6 early on in the season. But this kind of just perpetuates that 6 for 6 mentality throughout the season,
Right.
and he's just going to keep getting better and better.
And that rubs off on your teammates, too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
here he goes, kicking off. I believe he starts with a Yamawaki.
We'll see here. Oh, you know what? This is the guy that does a double front over the high bar. You got to make sure you take an eye out for that.
That's his dismount. Yeah.
Really cool, unorthodox dismount. Wow, that was textbook. Free hip
Right
to
to the
handstand.
handstand.
That was textbook. Right into a beautiful blind change. What else are we going to see from him here today?
So full spin.
Nice full spin. Really
Nice.
cool.
Here it looks like he's
Cranks
cranking
up here
up
for that
that
big
dismount.
dismount.
There's that
Yeah.
double front.
Front flip.
Kicks out.
Yeah.
Kicks out super early. Saw
You
the
know,
ground
Don is
and
really
everything.
good at hitting those dismounts. He is at, it's a blind landing. It's probably scary as heck, and he is really, really good at landing that even in training. So,
So what's the story behind that dismount? Why not the traditional dismount?
man, beats me. I would never do a dismount either. But I guess he, that was just what he preferred. I guess, I want to say I've seen him do double backs in training before, but maybe that just wasn't his thing.
All right, so let's get into it. This is Miguel Anconio from Army, I believe we just saw him on vault last. So let's see what he's got up for us. Army's got to hit these last couple of routines here.
Big
Nice,
Zuliman.
Zuli. Really nice C skill. No angle deduction. Well, no major angle deduction there.
Cranking it around for a beautiful Tkachev.
Nice
Looks like
Tkachev.
he's cranking up for one more. Let's see if he's going to hit this Tkachev half. Nice Tkachev half. Beautiful coming out of the back end of that bar. No
Half
bend.
turn into the one arm.
Beautiful.
His grip is really slippery right now. That was
One arms are some of my favorite skills to do. Those were a lot of fun. For
Yeah,
sure.
they're awesome. And then watch this dismount. Crank it around. Laid out half and half out. Almost a stick. A small hop back. Great stuff coming out from Miguel.
Army is not giving anything up, man.
No, they're not.
Yo,
They're not going down without a fight. That is for
I
sure.
said it before we started. I said Springfield needs to go out there and hit all their sets, which they have. But Army also was going to need to go out there and also have a couple mistakes. And they're not giving them any tense.
No, they're not.
Nowhere.
No.
Maybe on the dismounts you could say, I don't think we've seen a stuck dismount from Army for this high bar rotation. But, they're not giving them nothing. And you got to love to see that killer mentality right there.
Yeah. They're going out there and they're being super confident. And like I had said earlier, remember when they were on horse?
Yeah.
Their type of swing, their type of gymnastics requires confidence. And when Army is confident, they do their best gymnastics. And it looks like going into this last rotation for them, they're as confident as ever. And they're doing great stuff, keeping their lead on Springfield. But here we got Alexander Fitzgerald for Springfield.
Yeah, so here's Fitzy again. He was always a big P-bar, high bar guy, mostly because he's another tall gymnast as well. I think he is definitely around 6 foot, maybe 6'1". So his swing on high bar is really really defined with his long stature. So you're gonna see some big gymnastics here from Fitz.
Well, I am stoked to see what Fitz has got in store. He needs to hit this routine. At this point, Army could have one meltdown, and Springfield can take it. So nice Yamawaki to start it off here.
Yeah, well,
He's going to do a big Tkachev here. That's why the assistant coach Luke is standing there with an 8-inch mat.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Big catch. Huge. Plenty of room.
Way above the bar. Beautiful stuff. There's that free hip again. We've seen a couple of free hips coming out from Springfield today.
Yeah.
It's a simple A, and there's usually no deduction on it. So.
Yeah.
Right.
A little bit late on
We
that
see a double lay here.
pirouette there, but there's another double layout. Oh, got
Nice.
the stick.
Put it
Oh, we
up.
Got the stick. Look at that. Green flag.
Gotta get the
Green
green
flag for
flag,
the
yeah.
fans. Green flag for the fans, baby. That's what you want to see. That was beautiful stuff coming out from Alexander.
Really?
We're really
Anything
working
could
with what we got here for Springfield. I'm proud of my brothers there. That we're doing good. We're finishing strong. So love to see it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see, right? I don't even know if they know what the actual score is, but they're doing the best stuff that they can do, and they're not giving up, which is really, really, really important. So, second to last guy for Army. This is going to be my guy, Matthew Davis.
Anchor. So he's going to have the opportunity to put Springfield away. One hit routine, and they're going to have 5 scores that are good enough to count.
Yeah.
So
It just depends on Matt Davis. So let's see what he.
Big break there.
right
oh my
there,
gosh!
big break.
Oh my gosh! There's that meltdown.
There it is.
There's that
So-
meltdown. They're back in it.
So
There
they're
it
gonna.
is.
They're back in it. Matt Davis is one of their highest scoring guys on high bar, and the fact that he just messed that up and fell off the high bar.
It's a caster score. So I said he's gonna have to put it away. And look,
As much as I love seeing Matt Davis's gymnastics, it kind of makes me happy that he fell because now it gives Springfield a chance to hop back up here.
Well, we are not happy that Matt Davis fell. We want Matt to do his best gymnastics, but for Springfield, it is exactly what they needed, right? They need a couple of lower scoring routines so that they can kind of pick up here going into this last event. So I hope that Matt can get back up there and finish up. This is really uncharacteristic of Matt. I think every weekend we've seen he is just knocked it out of the park and all around. But maybe he's just a little tired. But we're gonna see.
I mean, you compete 6 events every single week. I mean, I'd be tired too.
Yeah, there's that. Look, he's right back in it, picking it right back up. Beautiful Tkachev into a beautiful
What, Stalder?
Stalder.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got stuck on my words there. Thank you, Cannon. Let's see what Matt's got. I believe he does a laid out half and half out, but let's see if Matt can put it down here.
Quast.
Come
No
on.
cross there.
So let's see. Oh, that is really far.
There's
That
that
was
tucked half and
early.
half out. That is not Matt's normal dismount. But it looks a little disappointed. But hey, Matt had a great day. Besides high bar, Matt put it down today. Remember, he
Yeah.
took home that rings title. He did a great horse set. He did a good vault, and he did good floor. So remember, he has one of the biggest starts on the team for floor, and he did a good job today. So let's get cracking. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ron Mitchell, or excuse me, Rob Mitchell, for that donation. That means the absolute world. You are helping us an extreme amount. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rob Mitchell. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, man, we might actually be able to buy a camera very soon, which is exactly what we wanted to do, because we want to start making some clips for these guys so that we can place maybe like hype type of entries as they get ready to go into their competitions. But let's jump into our last guy here. We got David Handron. David's got to put it down here.
So I know David here, just from seeing clips of training on his social media accounts. His high bar is big, from at least in JOs, and I expect nothing less than a big set here. So hopefully he can finish off a really good set for Springfield.
Well, Springfield's going to have a lot of good high bar guys. Just watching their lineup and just looking at the two recruits that I was able to see, Ray and Matt.
Oh, I can tell the team's really hype right now, even though we're all tired, and team's got his back for sure. So
yeah, they want him to hit more than anything right now. So let's see what he's got laid out. Yamawaki, very nice stuff from him.
Beautiful.
Cast it right up into that front giant, switches his hands around. Gonna see a endo there, right up to a handstand. Beautiful lines coming out from our friend David here into another stalder. Yeah, and his handstands, those are textbook. That's exactly what you want to see. Man, I hope he can keep this going, coming up into this dismount here. Laid out, half and half out. That's a stick, baby. That's a stick.
That's how we finish off.
Get that flag up, Kenan. Get that flag up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's exactly what you want to see. Good stuff. Good stuff from David. But remember, we got one more routine here. This is going to be the last routine of the entire competition, coming out from our friend Adam at Army. Let's see what he's got in store for us. He's got to hit this routine. He has to hit this routine.
Oh, that is aggressive right there. You saw the way that he pulled the bar.
Oh, he's ready to go, bro. He's hyped up. There's that Yamawaki right into a stalder up. Oh, it doesn't look like he made it up all the way, but that was a good save coming out from our friend Adam here, going into the front giants. See a jam here. A little bit late on that jam, but he's still staying on the bar. Nice eagle giant there. Coming around, probably going to see a pirouette here.
I can't get over that save. That was an insane save right there.
Yeah, it was. He's putting his team on his back right now, and it looks like he's going to go one more stalder up to a beautiful handstand, and then, come on, let's see what he's got for his dismount here. He's got to put this down. Double layout. Oh, unfortunately, he didn't get the stick. Man, I wanted to hit the flag one more time, but that is going to be the meat. Great stuff coming out from Adam there to end us off as we wait for our last two scores.
Wow, that was a really interesting competition.
Yeah, it was.
It should have been a little bit closer, in my opinion. I feel like Army went out there and they didn't miss a single set. I'd say Matt Davis, he sadly missed his high bar set, so they went, 35 for 36 on the day, and out of counted routines, they went 30 for 30. That's pretty. You can't really predict something like that, and when that happens, it's very hard for a team to lose.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. I'm sorry, but you can't beat a team that goes out there and rocks 30 for 30. Yeah, you just can't. I'm sorry, you just can't. Those guys at Army today put it down. That's the best gymnastics we've seen from Army since.
The truth.
All year. That's the best meet we've seen them have all year.
The truth is, it doesn't matter where you're ranked. It just matters whether if you can go out there and you can hit your routines, and the other team, whether they're prepared to hit their routines or not. Mm-hmm. Because then, if they both hit the routines, it's a matchup, and if they don't, it's really not even a competition. Who hits? It's just who hits and who doesn't.
Honestly, the meet was still pretty close. I mean, it was about a 7-point difference, unfortunately, as you can see from our final scores at the top there. But you don't ever see guys come out and hit 30 for 30. I mean, I'm sure the coach right now, that's a coach's dream, right? In the middle of the season, being able to go out there and crush. And Ray Bridges, absolutely, it is just the beginning. This is Remember, this is Springfield's first week competing. They competed twice this week. They competed once on Wednesday, and they competed again on Sunday. So
That's right.
Or excuse me, on Saturday. So
Saturday.
and Army, they've been competing since week 1. So this is like their 6th week. So they're a little bit more of a seasoned team. But props to them for putting out 6 for 6 today. As we kind of round down the meet, we'd like to remind you we have that donation link in the description. Your donations help us an insane amount. It really, really, really does, and it allows us to keep doing this. So like I said before, we have that donation ticker on the left side there, and you can kind of get a feel for it. Thank you to everybody that has donated, and we really appreciate it.
You guys are showing your support. Coming up here, it means a lot as well. We don't want to say the donations are everything. You guys coming here and showing your support, following on Instagram, liking the pages, participating in the TikTok challenge. If anybody's out there, guys, look out for the TikTok challenge. I messed up the due date. We will be selecting the winner next week today, so a week from today, the 27th. But I also want to say thank you to Nick. Nick was a really great help in casting, and he gave us a lot of insight about Springfield, and hopefully he gave some of you guys JOs some insight on why to go to Springfield, because I think that's always important for when they come on. So thank you, Nick.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
No, and I thank you equally for having me on. I mean, this is a huge opportunity, and I'd just like to say one more thing also.
Go ahead.
Yeah, not only shout out to Vertius, but also, great luck for you guys in the future. I cannot wait to see, your business grow here. That'll be really interesting. And keeping the gymnastics community alive is so important because, unfortunately, you've seen with the cuts here, with the other NCAA teams, it's unfortunate. And this platform here is going to help tremendously, I think. So big shout out to you guys, and really thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps, having alumni that are able to come out and speak for their team and talk about the benefits of being in that world. It allows for other people to recognize, hey, Springfield's an option for me. Maybe I can go to Springfield. Nick had a great time. Why can't I have a great time?
And and also people, there is a little bit of a stigma around Springfield because we're quote unquote D3, but when you get in there and you at least take a visit, you at least look at the program itself, you see that we're beyond D3. We train at D1. We have a mission set out at the beginning of the year that we train to be the best. We train for perfection, because if we train to be perfection in a healthy way, we're going to get to that standard of the tradition of excellence. You'll know that. We go in there, we train hard every single day. We eat, breathe, and sleep gymnastics. We eat, breathe, and sleep our dream, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes to win. Springfield will win. Springfield is going to win in the future. Mark my word. It may take 10 years or so if this program's still there, but we're going to get it. So I'm really proud of my brothers. I'm really I'll have to congratulate them after this meet. So
yeah, so let me say, if anybody's out there saying, "Oh, Springfield's D3," stop it. Cut it out right now. Because first of all, there's not enough gymnastics schools to try to separate another school, to try to put another school down for their ranking. And first of all, because there's not enough gymnastics schools, everybody's in the same ranking. Literally everybody. So cut it out. I don't want to hear nobody say Springfield D3, nothing. Like, me just hearing that just makes my skin boil. Like, Springfield is an option, and we all just seen it. They are a great option for a bunch of JOs out there. So
yeah, they put it down.
Absolutely.
They put it down. Look, they just lost to a team that went 30 for 30. It doesn't matter who they're up against.
Yeah,
anybody was gonna lose to Army today. That's the fact about it.
30 for 30 is ridiculous.
But you see what Springfield did as a whole. Even when they got a little bit down, nobody on the team gave up. Nobody wavered, and they had that mentality of excellence that Nick keeps talking about, right? Like, they all held true into that and were able to do amazing, amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all it takes, and it's definitely just the beginning for Springfield. They got some really good recruits out there. Maybe we could get you guys both on the show. Get you guys to meet each other and get a little bit of that JO action. But
yeah,
thank you guys for coming out to the live stream. We really appreciate it, Isaac.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I love casting the Springfield meets. I love casting the Army meets. They're both really, really fun. And we hope you enjoyed the show today. I mean, I had an absolute blast. Especially going in that last rotation. Stuff was getting thick. Stuff was getting close. So that was a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see what Springfield's going to do up in their near future. They're a really good team, and they've got really good handstand work, and that I feel like can transfer into a lot of things as Springfield kind of goes and gets their difficulty up a little bit going into their next couple of meets here. But we're going to keep a close eye on Springfield, and we're going to keep a close eye on Army as well. We got a lot of Army fans that like the show, so we always try to do our Army shouts. But I think that's going to be the wrap up for us. Ray Bridges, you're welcome. Matthew Brown, thank you very much, guys. It means a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much it for us today. Thank you, Nick, again for being here with us. It was a fun time casting with you, man. And
absolutely. Likewise, man. Thank you for having me on. That was quite the experience. So, and shout out to Springfield, shout out to Army, shout out to you guys. Yeah, big things in the future for all of us. So,
all right. Well, thank you, and we're gonna call it. Once again, we have that donation link in the description. And thank you guys for being here.
Challenge. Don't forget TikTok.
Oh yeah, that TikTok challenge. Check the Instagram for that. But that's gonna be it for us. So, thank you.